Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for appeasement. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, they you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a beast. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes. I'm the kingpin.
What's going on, everybody? Let's go. My nigga, I just got in, man. I know I always just got in. What's going on, fellas? Oh, boy. Here we are. Let's see. This is what's going on Grease with Fire. What's going on, Stylist the Artisan? BH, salute to you, bro. Gerald Cross, salute. Gene Clark, salute. Smooth Shafor, salute, bro. What's going on? Charles Young, salute. Let's see. Bowley, salute. Let's see. Master Khalid in the building, salute. Oh, yeah. Still, man, down, bro. You know, what's going on, kid? How you say that? Clintclair 19 and the ticket. So, you know, everybody been so mealy mouth about this loss. Bro, it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we are down. You know, I'm a diehard Errol Spence Jr. fan, but, you know, we wanted to see who was the best at the welterweight division. See, and when you're a boxing fan, you know, you want your guy to win, but he lost. You know what I'm saying? So what? There's no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? You just feel bad because your favorite fighter lost. This is what we're trying to tell these dickheads out here that's acting like it's some kind of street beef. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we have been, I don't know how long them guys or these guys that they've been watching boxing, but I've had my heart broken like shit a number of times, bro. I'm not afraid to tell it because I'm a boxing fan, so fuck you. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. Hopefully EJ will come back. And let me tell you something. You know, it's not about one loss, bro. That's that Floyd Mayweather shit. That's how y'all know you don't know shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying? You don't know shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell how good a guy by how undefeated he is. That's just stupid talk. That's new age fan thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're an athlete in any sport, you know what I'm saying, you know you don't get better until you lose. You know what I'm saying? You got to lose to get better. Michael Jordan, how many times did he lose? You know what I'm saying, before he got the team around him to win, right? That's boxing all day. Lennox Lewis lost to Rockman. Was Rockman better than Lennox Lewis? You know, I mean, Rockman went out there and knocked the shit out of Lennox Lewis, but he came back that next fight and he learned from his mistakes, and he beat the shit out of Rockman. See, y'all don't know boxing. See, that's how you know you're not boxing fans. You just niggas out here that's gambling. You just niggas out here that's looking for a team to get on and be on the right side. So it don't bother me. No, it don't bother real boxing fans because we know anything can happen in boxing. Were we wrong? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looked like we were wrong. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is all that. And what did we say? Either Crawford gonna prove to be all that he said he is or he ain't. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't gain nothing from Crawford winning. Now, I'll give you bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you bragging rights. I could take that too. But when you project your motherfucking insecurities on me, that's where you fucked up at. Because I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I know fighters take losses. I know the best of them. And I've seen the best of them take losses. So that shows you that you don't know shit about this sport. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best champions take losses. Like I said, I see Mike Tyson get beat up by a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to tell you, I'm trying to put shit in perspective for you idiots out there that think that this shit is go any deeper than the loss that Errol Spence Jr. took. So I'm just letting you know, like, y'all taking this on a whole nother level, and it don't go no deeper than that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been watching boxing very long. You want it to mean something deeper. Now, congratulations to Bud Crawford for doing something that no male boxer has done. He's become undisputed twice. You know what I'm saying? The man is a bad motherfucker. We're going to have to give it up to Bud Crawford. He went out there and he showed me something that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Which is very impressive because I've seen a lot of shit. But he impressed me last night with his skill, with his defense. He was able to change it up a little bit. And his adjustment ability was just great. I just think EJ was underprepared. He took Crawford for granted. He thought, I think I said it a while back that Errol Spence Jr., when he wasn't training, he wasn't coming in with his strength and conditioning, he was taking chances. You know what I'm saying? He was just too arrogant. And I think he underestimated what Crawford could do in there. And I think we all underestimated Crawford because of the way he was moved around in the division. So, you know, congratulations to Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get a rematch. Hopefully we get a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? But it's still man down, bro. Just like, you know, we support Deontay Wilder, I'm going to support EJ. And, you know, for Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? No problem with him in the ring, but outside the ring, I think that's what people don't like, his character. And they don't like the people around him because they got to snipe people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got all walks of life in boxing. You got middle class, working class, street niggas, everything. But for one thing, you know what I'm saying, you got to look at the character of a dude. You know, if you don't like the character of a dude, some dudes can like a dude if he don't have good character. But some people, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have good character, you know, it's like, fuck you forever. You know? What's going on, Bowley?
Hey, what's going on? Sorry, man. It took a minute to load this thing.
That's all right. I'm just kind of like, you know, seeing everybody so mealy mouth. Now, was I fucked up? Yes, I was definitely fucked up, especially when Errol got knocked down. The second time, I was like, shit. You know, Crawford jab was something phenomenal, bro. The speed on his jab, I mean, he just took EJ jab away and it was over. EJ could not adjust when he was poking that jab out there, beating him to the punch. Errol didn't want to jab no more. And that's something that we couldn't foresee because we thought EJ was going to come in strong and big, and he didn't do that. He went in there reaching. There's a number of things that I said in my videos if Crawford was to win type videos. There's certain things he can't do against Crawford. I thought that Derrick James because these are common sense things that if you just watch the film, that you would say, EJ, don't reach, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I'm saying, common sense. Don't reach in there, you know what I'm saying? And so, but when he took the jab away, I didn't see any creativity from Errol. That you know, he just seemed like he didn't have no other plans or nothing but to go in there and fight, you know what I'm saying, behind his jab. And once that was taken away, he was just kind of lost, bro. He was just kind of lost. So I was just kind of like surprised by it. They didn't have another plan. Derek James, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell he was you know, why he didn't like look at his conditioning. Why didn't he, you know, they should have got Blu-ray, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think Blu-ray would have got him right up in there. And I think Blu-ray would have had him better prepared physically because Crawford was the stronger guy in there. He was the bigger guy. He was the stronger guy. And that's just what it was. You know, EJ didn't have his usual power. He didn't have his usual snap on his punch. He didn't even have his legs, bro. We never seen EJ fight like that, as a matter of fact, you know, and it might have been due to the accuracy and the precision of Bud Crawford because he was so fucking sharp. He was sharper than a goddamn razor blade, and EJ, he wasn't sharp at all. I just think he should have took a tune-up. I think he should have got himself up to snuff and then challenged Bud, you know, thinking that he could just do Bud like he did Danny Garcia and go in there, you know, after months laid off. I mean, he still took the fight. He still pressed for the fight. And like you say, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you get what you wish for. And he should have trained hard. He should have trained like Bud Crawford was a monster. He should have trained like he was an equal. And I think he would have had better results. I don't know, though, because the skill that Bud Crawford showed in that fight was next level shit. That was some legendary shit that he did in there. And like I said, you know, I'm going to give it up to him. I mean, the defense that he showed, I mean, the decision making, I mean, he even pushed Errol back. Errol just wasn't prepared. It's like he was preparing for another fighter or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like his punch resistance wasn't there, or the power of Bud was just, I've never seen Bud with that kind of power. You know what I'm saying? Never seen him with that kind of power. Never seen him with that kind of size. So it was different for everybody. Nobody ever seen Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying, dominated like that in a fight. And because usually Errol is the person that dominates. And so, you know, it was just kind of interesting dynamic, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know what I'm saying, you know, our favorite fighter or whatever, you know what I'm saying, go in there and couldn't perform. You know what I'm saying? The way, I don't know if the moment, it's a number of things that you want to ask Derek James or ask that camp, because we saw it with Frank Martin first. You know, Frank Martin, you know what I'm saying, kind of how a similar kind of performance, like his timing was off. So I always say that these fighters today got to fight more often. They got to stay active, you know what I'm saying, to keep up their skills. And they can't just rest on their laurels thinking they got it like that. You got to fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't fight, you're not going to be able to access, you know what I'm saying, your best tools and your best, you know, have your timing together, have your legs up under you. You know, so you just can't stay in the gym and thinking you're going to come out and be 100%. Even though I did think that Errol Spence Jr. with the sparring with Jamel Charlo, I don't know how much sparring they did, but they did something different. You don't do different shit when you're about to go into the biggest fight of your career. You know what I'm saying? You do the same shit that got you successful. You get Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you do, you go spar Jamel Charlo. You do the things that made you successful in the fight. And I think EJ took Bud lightly. Mm-hmm. What you say?
Yo, what's up? Y'all hear me?
Hey, what's going on, yo?
Yeah.
What's up, Paul?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, you know, a little heartbroken after last night, but it's all good, man. It is what it is. Congrats to Crawford. I mean, I'm out here in Omaha, but I was, you know what I'm saying, I was going for EJ, but you know, Crawford.
What the hell are you doing in Omaha, man? What's going on?
Huh?
What's going on? What you doing in Omaha? Let's go. You trying to get on the team out there? What's going on? You trying to get on Bud team?
No,
I just mess with you. I've been
living out here for a couple years now, but I'm from Chicago originally. But yeah, congrats to Crawford, bro. He showed a new layer that I didn't think he had, man. You know, and it is what it is.
I think that Crawford just prepared better. He just took it apart detail by detail, and I don't think EJ did that. I think EJ thought he just had it like that. He didn't do his just due by studying this guy and breaking it down and preparing his body for like he's an equal. He just underestimated Bud.
Yeah, he thought he could walk to him and without being responsible. He thought he was just like.
Well, I think he had no choice. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if he would have got trained by Blu-ray, he would have had a better chance, physically, because Bud was the bigger, stronger dude. He was the faster guy, and he was the more skilled guy. And so, because EJ ran out of ideas after he took his jab away. He didn't have the power to go in and overpower him and rough him up. And that was just kind of interesting. I was like, well, God damn. I mean, like, bro, I mean, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to suggest
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, to be that dominant against him, Bud was taking this shit. He was preparing. I think all that year and all that shit he took off and evading the fight. I think he was preparing himself for Errol Spence Jr. And like the David Evanesian fight, getting that fight in. I think staying out the ring for EJ just kind of fucked him up. He should have took that Keith Thurman fight. I don't know how much that he should have took that Keith Thurman fight. He should have kept working.
Kept him a little sharper for this fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have been more active, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think he would have been sharper. When you don't fight, bro, your timing is off.
Yeah.
So as much as you think your timing is on, you can't make the adjustments, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not active. You're inactive. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much weightlifting you do. You got to stay in that ring so you could work on your skill set. And I think he would just, this worked against him. How many times have you been inactive? And when you're inactive throughout your career, it worked when you're in your 20s. When you're in your 20s, you could play basketball. You'll be tired a little bit at the beginning of the round, the beginning of the game. But by the end of the game, you done got your win back because you're 20-something. Yeah. But when you're 33, you can't just jump in a basketball game and think you're gonna be able to catch your second win and be able to run like that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take you a longer time.
Yeah.
So I just think his age just caught up with him. He thought he could do the things that he could do with Danny Garcia when he was a little bit younger. You know what I'm saying? Every fighter got an expiration date. Mm-hmm. And you never know when you fight like Errol Spence Jr. Your career ends a lot quicker because you fight the way you fight. And I think it was Mayweather that told him that he's going to have to stop boxing more and stop fighting the way he fight with the pressure and trying to press people out. He said you're going to have to adjust that. He told him that years ago, and but I don't think he ever really liked boxing. He likes fighting. So
he likes to fight. For sure.
He likes fighting. So you can only do that for so long. When you meet somebody that haven't taken that much punishment, like Terrence Crawford, somebody who strategically, said take fights, say he's staying healthy, and you getting into car crashes and stuff like that.
He likes he likes to be with them rappers over there in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, so that's that.
Well, I'm just saying, I ain't saying I'm just saying he should have. I think he just should have, prepared better, given the disadvantages that he might have had, and went with Blu-ray so he could be as strong as he could be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, in the ring, because he
you feel me type shit.
He didn't look strong, man. He didn't look strong in there. He looked like he didn't have his legs and balance. A jab threw him off balance, and
every time Crawford landed something, it affected him so dramatically. I was like, damn. He just rocking and wiggling all everywhere. I'm like,
yeah.
I know Crawford ain't that. Is he that strong? Did we underestimate his power that much?
I mean, come on, man.
Look like when Thanos punched the Hulk. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, his jab every time Bud Crawford jabbed him, he hurt Errol every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
When I saw
now, come on. Now we've seen 39 fights of Crawford. Has he ever jabbed anybody like that? You know what I'm saying? Just from a regular jab position and hurt him like that? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? But he will put
like that. Yeah.
But he prepared himself though. You know what I'm saying?
He was locked
in. Maybe it was the momentum too of EJ catching him coming forward. I don't know, man. But he definitely took EJ jab out the equation. And
Yeah.
I said a long time ago that if he nullifies Errol's jab, which I didn't think he could do, that he had a good chance of beating Errol Spence Jr. But I thought Errol Spence Jr. would show us some new wrinkles, and he just didn't have any. He just didn't have
He
it.
was lunging in too much. He was opening himself up for them counters. You know, he was throwing those hooks a little too wide, and it was just, I don't know, like there's a lot of things he was doing that was out of character, in my opinion. But you know,
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, Terrence Crawford capitalized on those openings, and you know, good play for him. You know,
Yeah, that's what his fans said he would do. But I thought EJ would be smarter and he'll be more tactical. And he just didn't fight like that. I mean, he bent over, like I said in the videos, for him not to do. Don't lunge. He did everything I said that he shouldn't do. He did every last thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you analyzed it too. Yeah, I was.
You actually called it, Paul, in one of your videos.
Yeah,
about his lunging.
Yeah,
I told him to stop lunging. Stop doing that little duck shit. I told him to stop doing that little duck shit that he do, because I said that's what Bud is going to be quick enough to capitalize. Anything that put him across the offensive line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Bud was going to be quick enough to hit him with it. And he did everything wrong in there. I don't know why.
He kept his head on the line, man. Every time Errol would jab to the body, he would step back straight, and he was getting caught on the exit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What killed me was the defense. What was his defense? I mean, he had better defense against Danny Garcia. He had better defense. He kept his hands up, and I don't understand why he didn't keep his hands up in this fight. I don't get it.
I thought Derek James did a good job in the corner telling them the right things, but like I don't know, Errol was just out of it. Like he was just trying to get back at Bud, but he was rushing his offense, you know, and it costed him.
But you know,
they did not prepare for him at all. I think Derek James I think they thought that he was going to go in there and bulldoze him, and then when they went in and Errol felt that power, it was just different. It just took the whole plan.
Oh, shit, this guy's different. Yeah. That moment of realization.
Yeah, I mean, it was something because he don't usually accept no clinch, bro. But when Bud clinched him, man, he did not try to break out of that clinch. So he just looked totally different, you know what I'm saying, when he was fighting against Bud. I don't know if it was because Bud was so good or it just because EJ were off. I don't know.
I got a question too, man. Do we really and this is just a question. Do we point the finger at Sanders, man? Like, what was he doing? Like, what was they working on for the strength and conditioning?
I mean, they went with some guy. You know, I watched Blu-ray. He did a video, and he, you know, of course, he was saying he didn't have nothing to do with, you know, saying it would nothing happen between him and EJ because people been hitting him up about that, and of course, people is hoping EJ get in touch with Blu-ray to get him right, man, because the strengthening conditioning was terrible for EJ. He didn't have no snap. His reflexes wasn't there. I mean, he barely threw a damn jab. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Bud took him totally out of his game, pushed him back, and that took a lot of his offense too, because EJ likes to fight on the front foot. And he never really let, after the first round, he never really let Errol get off on his front foot. You know, so he stopped pushing him back. And I could see that in the workout. I told you from the workout, looked like he's going to try to press EJ and fight on the inside. Told you that in those live streams. The thing is, what the hell was EJ and Derek James working on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, didn't they see what we saw? Did it? I mean, they didn't analyze none of this stuff? Right. Like, get the lunging out your game. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't be ducking and trying to switch to the other side on Crawford. He's too fast for all that shit.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Hey, Paul, that's the part that killed me, man. I would think Derek James would go back and work on that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
Yeah. I was shocked that he kept going towards Bud's right hand. I thought I didn't want to speak on it. You know, I told you I swore off on speaking on it because, you know, I wasn't trying to tip nothing. I thought in my mind when I saw Errol fighting this fight, I thought that he would move more towards Bud's left hand and try to bait him into throwing his left because he could see that coming. He'd have more time to visualize that. That right hand from Crawford is lethal. We saw that with Kell Brook. And we didn't see that. We saw him ducking a lot to his to
his right.
To the left. Yeah, to Bud's right, but to his left. So he was getting caught easily, and he was ducking low. He was making it easy. And I think like he must have been hurt. The other thing that concerned me is like his face was changing color really early in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is going on with that, there's a lot of questions that I have from that fight that go beyond just the boxing. But my thing is we've seen a lot of stuff with these when fighters from other networks come over, there's a lot at stake. You got to know that they need to know. Now PBC fighters need to know at this point. The other guys are working from behind. They're trying to catch up. They know they're behind. That's why you hear all this stuff, about PBC or Showtime and all that garbage. And at some point, you got to decide to fight fire with fire. You can't complain about nothing. And I like how Spence came out with it. I was telling my dad about all this stuff. He agreed with me on a lot of things, and I'm not going to repeat what I told my dad, and my dad agreed with me on it. But there's some, he saw what I saw, but he also sent me a video, Spence saying, congratulations, I got no excuses. I said, yeah, that's the type of guy that he is. That being said,
but sometimes go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love what you said about Lennox, because I was thinking about that earlier. Lennox Lewis, when he got knocked out in South Africa, he didn't look good against Rahman in that fight.
Yeah. And
he came back in that next one and he made a statement. Also Pacquiao got outboxed by Eric Morales. That one came to my mind today, and he came back and he beat Morales.
See, if you're a real boxing fan and you go back with this, you've seen all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? You've seen all kind of people. You've seen some of the best lose, come back, win.
I see what I'm saying? Worse.
Say what now?
Went through, you know what I'm saying? So that's a possibility he can come back, you know what I'm saying? But he's I don't know, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, if you've never seen this before, your favorite fighter getting beat, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? But don't let these trolls and shit, fuck with you about it. That's boxing. The better man won. We are here to see who's the best in the division, whoever that is. It may not be your favorite fighter. It might be a motherfucking scumbag that you don't like, but he is the best, right? And we got to admit that, because we are fans of boxing. I feel bad for EJ, but Bud beat him. You know what I'm saying? And that's that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But does that mean?
You're right on.
But does that mean EJ can't come back and learn and see? Sometimes you learn more by a loss about yourself than you do a win. See, when you go out there, you dominate everybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your weaknesses are. You know what I'm saying? And to me, and this is only my, I got a different perspective. Errol Spence Jr. is too arrogant, man. He's arrogant in himself and his own abilities. And if he paid attention to what he can and can't do, I think he'll be better off. You see, he didn't think Bud Crawford was on his level, so he trained like that. You know what I'm saying? He trained like this guy wasn't better than him. You got to train like a motherfucker is better than you. You know what I'm saying? You got to train like this dude is going to take you down to the wire. And he just didn't respect Bud like that. He thought he was going to come out there and beat the shit out of Bud.
People were telling him he bought into that. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
well, I mean, this is why I say that, because he fought Mikey Garcia with no goddamn strength and conditioning. He fought Sean Porter and he beat him. He fought Sean Porter with no strength and conditioning and beat him. What did he say? 50% of me could beat these guys. I said to myself right then, I said his arrogance is going to get the best of him, because he think he better than everybody, that he don't have to train like that. You got to train like that. And that's what Blu-ray had him on another level. But see, he didn't take that training into his next fights. He thought he just, could just do it by grit. No, sometimes you got to study. You got to break out the pad, you know what I'm saying, and the film study.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to look into it. You got to say, okay, this man is quick. This man is sharp. He want to step back. He want to run me. He ran into one of the traps that everybody know that Bud Crawford throw. He knows when you come in there, he's going to set you up for that real. I've been saying it in my films. I've been saying it in my live streams. He's going to try to set him up for the real uppercut. And he ran right into it. And I was just like, wow, what's going on here? What's going on? Okay, he didn't learn shit. He didn't watch no film. When they asked him, do he watch film? He said, I already know how Bud Crawford fight. I said, all right. You know what I'm saying? You saying you only watched a little bit. No, you got to watch a lot of that shit. Right. So you know what's happening and what's coming. And I just think Errol Spence Jr. just thought his abilities would beat Bud. And he should have been working on his skill set. He should have been staying sharp, staying active. He should have took that fight with Keith Thurman, and he wouldn't have had these problems because he was off. He couldn't find his timing. You know what I'm saying? He let Bud beat him to the punch. He seemed like he was lethargic. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he got dealt with. So now hopefully in the second rematch, he'll understand that he's got to work. Bud was working.
That whole time.
Bud was working.
Everybody was talking bad about Bud. Bud was like, fuck everybody. I'm working. I'm in the gym.
Hey, Paul, Paul, you remember the Porter fight when Derek James was talking about how the fight went, and he basically said like Errol kind of threw the game plan out and just was going at it, which is what it kind of looked like. And you kind of alluded to this, and I just like I was saying, I thought that he was going to come out more tactical in this fight and try to wear him down, you know, with like subtle pressure. You know, not being overly aggressive, but subtle. You know,
you need your legs for that, Bowley. You need your legs for that. I mean,
I think, you know, part of me thinks that, you know, like it's not to make excuses, but you have to look at it realistically. I mean, he might have stretched himself too far at 147. Maybe that's part of it. And the other side,
I'm sure that's part of it. I'm sure, but
and the other side of it is
when you sign those papers, how you react in sparring. How you got to know your body. I think Crawford knows his body better than EJ. You know what I'm saying? I think EJ ego is just too huge, bro. He think he could do things without putting the preparation in it, bro. He just think he like that. And his heart might be like that, but you still got to put the planning and the preparation into, you know, your whatever heart, what you have behind that. You know what I'm saying? You may have all the heart in the world, but if you don't prepare right, you're going to get your ass whipped. And he just looked like he was unprepared. He just looked totally unprepared.
Yeah.
This shit was like
they were really prepared for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he did every day. You know what I'm saying? He probably ignored everything. This shit reminds me of Rocky. Like remember when Rocky got comfortable and he was on top and he just thought he was better than everybody, and Mr. T was in that motherfucking barn or wherever the fuck he was, just doing sit-ups, and he was over there riding the bike and kissing babies and shit and dancing and shit. And
you're dead on.
That's what this felt like. He just felt like he was on another level.
The guy was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The guy,
hey man,
the guy from PBC
Clubber
said the
Lane
same
last
thing.
night too.
Say that again.
The guy from
I said Bud was
PBC
Clubber Lane last night.
Clubber Lane.
Well, you know, I mean, I think Bud confident because he put in the work. You know what I'm saying? He worked hard as hell, and that's how you got to train. And that shows you that he's a better athlete because, you know, EJ, I just don't think he thought Crawford was like that, bro. I think he took him lightly. And you know, he thought the little stuff he did was gonna matter. No, you got to push yourself to the limit. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the movies, you got to push yourself to the limit, bro. You know, you should have brought that Green Beret trainer, Blu-ray in there to push you to the limit, to get everything he can up out of you. You know what I'm saying? Leave it in the gym, you know what I'm saying? So you can have it for battle time. And I just don't.
Is Porter Apollo Creed?
Porter shit. You know, I guess so.
Apollo, with you know, sitting doing his microphone duty and watching on the side, looking like, you know, come on, man, you got to be light on your feet. What's going on with you? You know,
exactly.
Like criticizing.
Because Porter feet is the best in boxing. You know, Porter got the best. He's one of the best athletic fighters, you know what I'm saying, in boxing. You know, he just don't have he's just small. You know what I'm saying? He got short arms, you know what I'm saying? And that's his problem. You know, he's so fast with his feet. That's why he gave Crawford a problem. You know what I'm saying? EJ, you know what I'm saying? I think he underprepared. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And maybe this is a wake-up call for him. You know, everybody's saying that his career is over and all this shit. I don't see that. I don't see that. What I see, you know, what I see him is retooling. I don't know how much he can pick up from here to December. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much he could pick up from here to December, but, you know, hopefully Blu-ray will be getting a phone call here soon. You know what I'm saying? And I think he'll be more competitive. Let me see. Let me get All Eyes Low. Thank you for that $4.99. It goes to the channel. He says, I question Shakur's ability to help Bud in this fight. He said, however, Bud stood right there and Spence couldn't land anything. And that shout out to Bud Crawford, man. He studied. He did the work, man. He did the work. You know what I'm saying? He took this shit seriously like EJ was a monster. And he went out there and he just outclassed Errol Spence Jr. this fight. And that happens in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. When I tell you, I never thought Mike Tyson would get beat up by a journeyman, bro. I mean, when I tell you, when we seen Tyson go down, it almost like he took Black culture with him. You know what I'm saying? It looked like Black culture hit the canvas when Mike Tyson hit the ground, because he influenced so many people with his hairstyle, from his trunks, just his whole mannerism, just being a young heavyweight champion, bro. And when I tell you, looked like reality broke when Mike Tyson hit the canvas. It was the same with Errol Spence Jr., bro. I mean, you know, everybody thought, you know what I'm saying, this dude was just unbeatable. And he went out there and, you know, he made some miscalculations. And, you know what I'm saying, his ego got him beat.
What up, bro?
Mm-hmm. Say that again, bro. Kind of in and out.
I said, what up, don't want to go to the channel.
What's happening, bro?
Oh, man, I'm over here sick, man.
Me too, bro. I'm fucked up too.
Yeah, man. I feel like I done lost my motherfucking dog or some shit.
Yeah, I couldn't even sleep, man. I was like, damn, dog.
Yeah, I had to go to bed right after that because I was out, you know, in my truck. I was out in the middle of nowhere because I had a blowout, and so that put me behind. So I was like, damn, man, I'm gonna have to watch this goddamn fight in the truck. So, you know, when I turned it on and that happened with the fight, I was sick, bro. I was like, I ain't even feel like taking that shit in, bro. I was like, I ain't even feel like driving in, bro. I was like, God damn, that's all I could think about. You know what I'm saying? That's all I could think about. I said, damn, EJ, shit, you let this man dominate you. Now, it was one thing if it would have been competitive, but this wasn't competitive. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't competitive at all. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would be at least, you know, a good competitive fight. EJ wasn't even competitive, bro. That's what's sad about this shit. Yeah. You know. But I think when he go back, if he look at the fight, if Derek James do their due diligence, they'll come back or whatever the fight gonna be. 147 ain't good for EJ, man. He looked just like Devin Haney looked at 135. You know what I'm saying? When he got drawn back down, he don't have the power there. You know what I'm saying? He's cutting too much of his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? But when you sign the contract, you know what I'm saying? You are accountable for the fight. You know what I'm saying? When you don't matter if you can't make the weight or you just made the weight and you can't fight like that. The man made the weight for over 10 years, bro. And the man is a grown ass man. So you have to cut all that weight to stay at 147. It's going to get you at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't Bud's fault. You know what I'm saying? That ain't Bud's fault. That's EJ's fault for not seeing the signs. You know, if he was
respecting his body, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
When did you get knocked down in boxing?
Third round, I left the party, went to the bar.
When you cut weight and you almost in your mid-30s, when you cut weight, we saw Roy Jones Jr. cut weight in his mid-30s, get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't start cutting weight. You need to be at the weight that you need to be fighting at when you start hitting your 30s. You need to be at the weight. I think somebody got YouTube up. Let me see. Yeah, I hear echo. Somebody got YouTube up. Yeah, let me see. Okay, it's gone now. So yeah, so you need to be at the weight you're gonna be fighting at by the time you know 33, 35. You know what I'm saying? So you
Nah,
don't
that's a
get
fact.
knocked the fuck out. And I think the weight had a lot to do with it. I think his lack of preparation had a lot to do with it because he ain't had no power. We know EJ got power on his punches. He didn't have none. You know what I'm saying?
Why y'all?
Crawford was making him eat that shit, bro. He was eating Bud punches. He was eating them shits like candy, bro.
Yo, peace to the panel. Why y'all think he wasn't able to rehydrate, man, like and get as big as we used to seeing him? Do you think the nutritionist like really took that much muscle mass off of him during the
We
training
don't
camp
we
to
don't
where there was
know.
nothing to rehydrate?
We don't know. All I know is that whatever it was, he had no snap on his punches. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hurt Bud, and once Bud realized he couldn't hurt him, it was on and popping. Once
Because
he
it looked like
realized,
he ain't dropped no water. He ain't dropped water weight, man. He lost
no,
muscle.
he looked like what he looked like at the weigh-in. He looked like when he weighed in, that's what he looked like when he took that shirt off. You know what I'm saying? He looked skinny as shit. I was like, what the fuck? He did go back and look at the Ugas fight, and then look at when he filled out after the fight. In this fight, he was skinny as shit, bro.
Yep.
He
And
was skinny as
Bud looked like
shit.
he filled out. And Bud looked like he filled out all the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Bud looked like a middleweight in there. He looked like a middleweight, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
Yep.
really, I mean, he just
He
looked like
looked
he was
good.
too powerful for EJ, and EJ looked like he was sucking wind. When have we ever seen EJ tired in a fight?
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
he ain't known for that. He known for
He ain't had no stamina. I mean, he was hugging. You know what I'm saying? And
He should have
and,
listened to them people that was above him when they kept telling him don't take the goddamn fight.
well, the thing is, when you cut weight like that, just like Kell Brook, when you cut weight, that your punch resistance is jacked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you can't make that weight like that, you saw Kell Brook get out of there like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't operate at that weight like that, not effectively. And but he took it, and he went down, and he fell for the sucker. Like a sucker, he fell for it.
Keep it a buck. I think he would have lost regardless, but it wouldn't have looked like that.
I don't know if he would have. I don't know. We'll never know. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, both of them struggle with the weigh-in. You could see he and Bud said it after the fight. He said that he wants to move up to 154. He said it's tough for him. It looked like it. Both of them looked like they really struggled.
Bud was the one that missed weight first, I think. What
was that?
Official weight. Yeah, he missed. He's the one that missed weight, which was surprising.
That's the rumor. That's the officially they didn't say that.
Tough for him too to make weight.
But look, if that is true, that go to show that Bud lost water weight, though. If that's the case, and he missed weight a couple times, I mean, what he shed off was water. What Errol lost was not water, man.
Yeah, because he didn't have the strength. He didn't have the strength there. Wherever his skill, whenever you rehydrate and say you're supposed to gain everything back, it didn't come together for him.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't come together for him, and it just backfired on him. You know what I'm saying? What you go?
Hey, Paul, didn't it seem like it was this kind of bothered me, and I'm not like it was like beforehand. It was like too celebratory. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like the weigh-in handshake. Like I can't tell a guy how to feel, but I'm just saying it just felt like it almost felt like being there was great. Like we got to this point and we made it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you got to think now. Outside, these guys been fighting all their life. It's different for them than it is for the boxing fans. For them, this is a job. For them, this is another day at the office. So when you got two young men that's making $30 million a piece is different. They made it, bro. That means that they got. I ain't gonna say they got generational wealth. Nobody in their family got to work again. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they was shaking hands, because they made it, bro, and they made it together. So that's why they was like, damn, if I was about to fight somebody, whether I get my ass whooped or not, if we making $30 million a piece, bro, oh man, I'm going in with a smile. Even if I take my lumps, bro, I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You put it like that. You put it like that. He can only be so upset with that ass whooping if you put it like that. You know what I'm saying?
They both got the bag. They were smiling at that weigh-in, man.
Because think about it. The only people make that kind of money is Canelo, right? Floyd Mayweather. And they guys, they was able to promote two black champions were able to produce this kind of revenue for their families. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, you know what I'm saying, that's why they were just in a good mood, bro. It's like no matter who win or lose, shit, we all win. So
right.
I'm pretty sure he taking his lumps, he feel bad, but shit. When he look at his bank account, he gonna be good again. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get ready for that second rematch, and they're gonna make even more money.
Yeah, hopefully he bring you in Blu-ray like he was saying.
If he don't bring in Blu-ray, he a damn fool.
Yeah,
he a damn fool if he don't.
I don't know what he was trying to prove by not using him all this time, man. Like if his body didn't move up, he should have played it. Man. The thing is, he was A-side. He really was A-side, man. He should have flexed that like Floyd would have and moved up to 154 and made Crawford chase him. He needed to be confident in his status, man.
Yep, that's it. Right there.
And then look at the bullshit that happened. You know, Mike Tyson gave him that motherfucking weed packages. I ain't understand that. He was sitting there. He gave
it to Bud too. He gave it to Bud.
Yeah, well, like EJ used that shit.
I like what old boy said. He was old boy Errol was the A side. Why are you chasing Bud? You know, it's like you a fish and the bait was the WBO title, that little one belt. And you looking at that and you like a fish, you chasing it. That's why Bud was able to drag you out for 15 months and get you in a fat camp for 15 months. You should have moved up after the Ugas fight. You had give Bud a deadline. If you ain't fighting by September, I'm moving up.
Look, let me tell you something. EJ is arrogant as fuck, bro. He just thought that he could go in there and beat Crawford. He just thought he was better than Crawford. And that's the problem. See, you know, he should have if he would have had the mentality that Crawford is better than me, or he thought that this man was a monster, this would have been a better fight.
Yep.
This would have been a better fight. He underestimated Bud. And you don't underestimate nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't underestimate you don't know what they're working on. And I don't understand why they didn't have that kind of mentality. I thought they had that covered. You know what I'm saying? I thought they had that covered. You know, I mean, he had acupuncture, he had all these other modern age techniques going on. Why didn't he just get fucking Blu-ray in the house, bro? That's all he needed.
Did you guys see how Crawford looked at the weigh-in? The dude looked like he was a monster, man. You saw his midsection?
Yeah. Yeah,
I saw that. I was
mean,
like, "Yo, EJ is in big trouble, man," because he was looking like skinny and.
I didn't make nothing of that, but what I did, I didn't make none of that till I seen how Crawford was stronger than him. When I seen the jab, how powerful the jab was, you know what I'm saying, and how it was hurting EJ, how it turned his face red in a short amount of time. I really wanted to think about what the fuck? I said, Crawford is way stronger than EJ in this fight. And I couldn't figure out why. You know what I'm saying? EJ, he couldn't get in, bro. I mean, it's like once he took his jab away, EJ just fell apart. He was just hitting. Go ahead.
Paul, did you see when he walked into the arena first? Like it was like during the first or the second fight. Like when they showed his arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how he looked when he came in?
Yeah, low. Well, that's a sign that you shouldn't be fighting at that fucking weight.
Yeah, man, he didn't look good. It reminded me a lot of Anthony Joshua when he fought Andy Ruiz. When Anthony Joshua made that walk to the ring to fight Andy Ruiz, remember it was that long walk from the dressing room, and they were showing him on camera, and it was a long walk from the dressing room to the ring, and he just had this look on his face. And you knew something, and I felt the same. I felt the same way when I saw him when he first arrived at the arena. And a lot of people are talking about, you know, whatever. And I don't know what that was about, but it didn't look good from starting from there for me. I didn't see anything.
Pro
in the
athletes know when they ain't got it. They know when they ain't feeling it that day, bro. Especially when you're on your way to a rumble. You ever get in a fight? I'm from the '80s, man. I done had my ass whooped before. In the middle of that fight, you realize you're getting your ass whooped, man. It's a whole nother compartmentalized thought process you go through in the middle of that ass whooping.
For sure.
I mean, look at the size of Crawford's calf muscles when he was in the ring. Like, look at EJ's legs and his body. Like, he looked like he was just like deflated. Compare what he looked like in 2017 to what he looked like right now.
Yeah.
He looked like
malnourished.
Yeah. He looked like he didn't have a good camp.
He looked
like Roy in that second Tarver fight.
He looked like his 17-year-old self in there, body-wise, man. I expected him to come to the ring way bigger. That was crazy. He looked like he stripped every bit of muscle off himself.
I thought he was gonna, rehydrate. You know what I'm saying, like he usually do.
But he didn't rehydrate.
We don't know, man. We don't know what happened, you know. But he should have known that this fight was his for his to lose, and he should have known if he loses this fight, that's all, you know what I'm saying, Bud Camp needed, you know what I'm saying, to prepare to get an advantage in the next fight. Now Bud got the mental edge in the second fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's going to have to fight the psychological knockout now in the second fight, and hopefully it's not good. Usually when a motherfucker get knocked out once, you're going to have that Lennox Lewis confidence. You know what I'm saying, that you could come back and knock this guy out or beat him down or whatever you got to do. Because EJ, like I say, he didn't look like himself, but that's not Bud problem. You know what I'm saying? That is not Bud Crawford problem. You know, he did what he's supposed to do, and he made history while he did it. So, this is boxing. You know,
you're right. You're right, Paul. Bud was playing chess. EJ was playing checkers. Because he told EJ back in 2018 when they met up that, hey, I'm gonna beat you, and when I beat you, they're gonna say you was weight drained. So
that's what he waited. He did that.
So he telling you how he gonna beat you, and you look at them side by side in that video back in 2017-18. EJ was way bigger than Bud. He dwarfed him in that video. And then you get in the ring on 2023, and Bud is bigger than you. You're gonna have some problems.
Yeah.
Bud just seemed to be a smarter dude, man. Let's just give it up. He's a smarter dude, man. He's shrewder. He's a shrewd operator. He did more shrewd business, even though we ain't like the way he was moving. Like I for one didn't, but shit, man, it was all.
I'll never be a fan of Bud Crawford, but I respect his ring ability. I don't like his character. I don't like his camp. I don't like none of the people over there. But as a fighter, he's the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. It is what it is.
Yeah, man, I like Bomac and them. They be talking a lot of shit.
No, it ain't the shit talking. It's where they go with it, bro. They gutter snipes.
Yeah,
they them people that eat the fucking chacho. What they call them bitch tacos? Them kind of people that eat tacos and shit and spice ham and shit and cheese and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be selling food stamps and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, catch you in Walmart and shit and cheat you and shit. Run off with your fucking money and shit. Them motherfuckers. Yeah, you can't tell me that somebody in their camp ain't got one of them stores. Come on now.
I can't stand no more
scammers, dog.
But we got to get, but like I say, like I rest in boxing, man. I've seen it all, and I know this shit happens. It stings like a motherfucker, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It hurts, it stings, but Crawford was the better man. So, I'm not too proud to say that, but it also shows us that he is what everybody think he is. So, we got to see that. You know what I'm saying? So,
but Bomac hit the lottery with Terrence Crawford because I don't think Bomac's a great trainer.
Yeah, no, he's not. But if the shoe was on,
just hit the lottery with Terrence, though.
If the shoe was on the other foot, there's no way. I just don't believe nobody in their camp or none of their fan base would be on YouTube. I just almost seen everybody who I rock with on YouTube. And it's hard for me to get on this motherfucker, man. I ain't bullshitting.
Not for me, man. Hey, like I said, bro, I hate that EJ lost. That's my boy all day, my favorite.
And lost what he did, too. That's the
but like I say, this is what happened. We're going to see other shit, too. Imagine how much boxing we got left to see people lose and see who win. And, when Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder, boy, I was fucked up, bro. I was fucked up. I mean, you ain't see no videos after that, nigga. I was like, I had to go take a chill pill, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Well, I mean, oh my God, bro. But
I'm from man. We used to getting our heart broken sports. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I mean, they control me all they want, bro. You know, I've been a sports fan for too long for them motherfuckers to bother me. This is internet, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching boxing before the internet even existed.
Don't bother me. You know, I got some phone calls today. They talking shit. Like I told them, I hope that motherfucker go back to Omaha and get ate by a motherfucking bear.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is child's play for me.
I don't give Bud full credit because of the way he moved and the way he knew that I had to drain this guy to get him in the ring. If he was
that's part. Let me tell you this, bro. You know, what's his name? Sugar Ray Leonard. He waited for Duran to eat. Yeah, Roberto Duran. He waited for him to eat and blow up to 200 pounds, and then he activated his rematch immediately because he knew he was watching Duran wait. And once he got big, he activated that rematch, and that's how he was able to beat.
He waited for Mugabe and Hagler too. He waited for Mugabe and Hagler.
Right. So what I'm saying is, this is the part strategic, the art of war. You know what I'm saying? Is to not to catch your opponent at his best, to catch him when he at his weakest. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of it.
That as a fighter, man. I can't respect
you know that, but that's what they do. What you see, Canelo Alvarez, right? He don't want you to be at your best. Soon as you fall off a building and hurt your back, that you got a contract coming.
That's why I don't like Canelo like that. I don't see Canelo as one of the best fighters out there because he's
right. Me neither.
Benavidez got to get into an accident, and then Canelo gonna be like, "Oh, I want to fight him now because his leg is bad."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So today it's about only winning. It's not about how you win. It's about winning. You know what I'm saying? It's a popularity contest instead of two guys getting at their peak, you know what I'm saying, at the height of their ability in fighting. You know what I'm saying? You know, Bud didn't fight these guys at their best. You know what I'm saying? He fought, you know what I'm saying? So that's why that's why he got the criticism that he got. But is he a bad skilled motherfucker? Do I think he's probably the best welterweight in the world right now? Yeah. Yeah, from the skills he showed me. You know what I'm saying? In that ring, EJ couldn't do shit with him. He agreed to the contract, and I think you should be held accountable for your decisions. You know what I'm saying? Much as I hate that shit, why the fuck did he sign that shit?
Part of that disappointment pull is the fact that EJ he didn't listen to his advisors. He was trying to get in the fight Keith Thurman at 154 and move up last year, and he just had it in his mind that the arrogance that I could beat Terrence Crawford at 50%. And that arrogance cost him.
I told you that a long time ago. I said, you know what? The only weakness I see Errol Spence Jr. had was his own arrogance. Because when he said after that, I think it was the Mikey Garcia fight, talking about 50% of me could beat all these guys. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit, this dude got that ego. You know what I'm saying? He got that ego. When he said 50% of me could beat these guys, I was like, man, he finna get for Lumaloom. You know what I'm saying? Because he taking that attitude, and these guys you don't know what level these guys on. You don't know how they prepare. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they put their bodies through, what they put their conditioning. You seen how Sean Porter put himself through to prepare for EJ, and see that blew his head up. You know, I mean, he said the car crash, you know what I'm saying, humbled him, but shit, he still got some work to do.
He got humbled that last night, and he needed that beating. Maybe he can come back.
You know, I was going to say that today. Sometime a loss, you know, it gives you access to that desire, and the next side, it opens up a door for you to dig deeper and really self-analyze yourself. You know what I'm saying? And say, okay, man, I'm not the baddest man in the world, so I got some shit to work on. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get in this gym and I got to work on shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now he knows he's got to work on some shit. If he's going to win that rematch, he's going to definitely have to get all the tools that he has to, you know, at hand, you know what I'm saying, to get better, you know. So I just think.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. My bad. I thought you were done, man.
Well, I was just gonna say, I just think this generation, they just think one fight defines who's the best, but really, you know what I'm saying, you gotta fight 2 or 3 times, you know what I'm saying, to see who the best. You know, that's how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Now you just fight, you just get by one fight and it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, we've seen people, you know, go back and forth. You know, you've seen the Achua Gotti and what's the Irish guy name was?
Mickey Ward.
Y'all seen those battles. It was going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Every fight, every other fight, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta fight it, you gotta fight a couple of times to make sure it's definite.
You know, I just wanted to say, like, you know, we thinking a lot about the loss, but at the same time, like, we should just take a minute to, like, just appreciate the event, because it was a huge fight. I got a feeling that the numbers are going to do really well. A lot of luminaries came out. You know, Bud was able to get Eminem to walk him out. That's a huge star. You know, like, everything about it made me say, man, you know, I've been to a few events. I felt like, man, even though Spence lost, man, that would have been great to be there. And you could see when Jim Gray, and I appreciate this from Jim Gray, even though sometimes, you know, people don't like what he says. You know, I really think that he appreciated Bud in the moment, and he gave him his credit, and you could see that he admired the effort that he gave. And, you know, I gotta respect. You know, I think, like, we all criticize Showtime's commentary quite a bit, but I thought that they were, you know, they were down the line. In the past, even a week ago, I didn't quite like some of the stuff that was being done, but I thought that, you know, it was overall, it was a really great event, and I hope that it leads to more fights like this, regardless of the outcome. So,
did the pay-per-view numbers come out yet? I know they take a while to come out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, just to see what they did. You know, that would be good to see. You know what I'm saying, see what kind of, you know, what this event did, and we definitely could get a second fight. You know, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, it's just shocking to me that a lot of these boxing fans, you know what I'm saying, they just want bragging, they just want to watch boxing for bragging rights. That's not the only reason you watch boxing, bro. Just to have bragging rights, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we got to see who was the best at welterweight, bro. That's the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? The best got to fight the best in that ring. You know, they was able to face each other. Regardless of where each other was, the best got to fight the best tonight. And I think that's the win we should take from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, what we got? I mean, we got, like, what, 2 months to go until Canelo versus Charlo.
Yep, and hopefully that's not another heartbreak. God damn, I don't think I could taking Texas out the game, bro. I'd be like, fuck. I mean, because you know Canelo, you know what he gonna do. You know he gonna come in there. He gonna throw 1,500 punches around now. You know what I'm saying? I just believe that shit. I believe he gonna be on that magic steak. You know what I'm saying? You know, so why else would he fight Jamil Charlo? You know what I'm saying? I just don't, that shit befuddles me. You know, Jamil would be the last person I would want to fight in the ring. Maybe he think that he has an advantage because he never fought at 168. I don't know. I'm just very suspect of that. Very suspect, bro. What's going on? I see you, Seawood. You know what I'm saying? I see you at that Seawood. You know, congratulations, Bud Crawford.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we can get a Rocky 3. I don't know. Maybe we can get Rocky 3 pull.
That's my favorite Rocky.
And do some damage on Crawford, but he got I don't know what his mind state is at.
Well, if EJ can win the second one, guess what, y'all? Trilogy. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to EJ to make this thing work. And guess what? I doubt if we get another fight out of either one of them if they do a trilogy. I don't think they'll fight again. If they fight 3 times, I think that's it for both of those guys. You know, because once you do a trilogy with somebody, you ain't no more good. You know what I'm saying? We saw Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield destroy each other. And, you know, they wasn't saying.
Deontay Wilder might be the exception. He came back and Fulham that dude in 1 round, that Nordic guy.
Yeah.
Hellenius.
But usually
came back and beat Tyson too.
But these heavyweights are different, man. They're not the same heavyweights of old. These guys are not that skilled. They're not as skilled as the old heavyweight. They're not as skilled. They don't throw punches like that.
Yeah, like Lennox Lewis was super fast and agile. You know what I'm saying? And these
other they don't have the skill, bro. They don't have the same skill. So you got a bunch. What's that guy named? Du Bois. These guys are beatable, bro. They are beatable. Yeah, they're beatable, man. But that dude, is that girl his sister Carolyn? What her name? Carolyn Du Bois? That girl bad as a motherfucker, man. God damn. That girl is, man, she fight like a dude in the ring. I mean, she got a that fight, right? Bro, when I tell you that girl is nice, I'm talking about she looked like a transgender in that motherfucker, not feature wise, but just the way she moved.
Yeah. What is that? She look transgender in this
motherfucker. The way she moved, bro, she moved like a dude. I'm like, oh my god!
I heard about it. I gotta see her though. You know what I'm saying?
Just Google her, man. You'll see, man. You be like, damn, Baumgartner looks good, but that Du Bois girl, she is, man, she gonna be hard to beat, bro. She gonna be hard to beat. She must be sleeping in the damn gym.
Sleeping bitches.
Let's see what Modine says. Yes, those fights like Gotti Ward were competitive. Spence was playing a different sport last night in the ring. He says, why rematch after all that dominance? Well, I mean, it's up to him. You know what I'm saying? I know people want to leave it where Crawford got the win. Say if you was rooting for Crawford, yeah, I can hear you saying that. But if you Spence and you Spence fans, you want to see him get that back, right? So, of course you would want, if you're a Bud Crawford fan, you would want him to go on ahead with the win and leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So EJ, you know what I'm saying, can't get that get back. You know what I'm saying? Even if he lose again, at least he went in there and tried to get that wiped out. And then they'll probably have a trilogy after that. You know what I'm saying? Because this fight probably going to do over 1 million pay-per-views. So why you don't need to go fight nobody else when you could generate that kind of cash. And you can generate those kind of views. You don't need to go fight nobody else because y'all making the money together. It just don't make sense. You go ahead and retire each other out. He says, all lies low. He says his dad told him he's too arrogant. Yeah, he said Errol responded with that. He responded with, that's what got me here. Oh, yeah, every athlete got to have a little bit of arrogance, but you got to have some smarts too.
You got to be a little.
Can't keep you from preparing, saying yourself. You can't underestimate your opponent. And I think EJ just thought he was just better than Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
He gave away for all his advantages.
The example that I use is when Sean Porter, he just thought he would just dog Sean Porter. Sean Porter got prepared for him. And I think Bud learned from that. He got prepared. I'm going to tell y'all something that y'all probably may not suspect, but there's a lot of people in Bud them ear that fought EJ. I wouldn't be surprised if Porter went in there and gave him inside information, about preparing for EJ.
Because the same thing too. Kell Brook probably said something to Crawford too.
Well, what I'm saying is let me say Porter's smart. He know that you could prepare for EJ. So he fought him. So he knows that, with preparation and blood skill, he can out prepare EJ because he thinks he's got everything he needs to beat you already inside him. He don't think that he's got to learn shit new. He don't think that he need any other study. He don't need no film study. He got this. And that's his problem. So he didn't think he had to push himself. He didn't think he had to do anything, work on his jab or different variations or anything like that. He thought he just had it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You got to study your opponent. And watching a little bit of film of your somebody get that background noise for me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody knock that background noise out for me. So, just you got to study your opponent, bro. I don't think EJ studied Crawford enough, and he just didn't prepare his body enough. I think he should have demanded the fight at 154. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 147, since it was so hard for him to make that weight. He just made a lot of miscalculations, bro. And he just, he lost the fight. So that's what happens when you don't use your head. You want to go in there and you just want to dog it out. You know what I'm saying? So, but congratulations to Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He played him masterfully. Let's say Gans. What's going on, Gans? He says, what up, Paul? He said, EJ's my guy, but how come nobody's saying anything about Bud damn near collected EJ's eyes?
That's the irony.
Well, I think we were a little bit too shocked about how badly he was losing the fight. That's why. I think everybody was just holding their breath because they couldn't believe, how one-sided Bud was making the fight. You know what I'm saying? I think we were just amazed. You know what I'm saying? Ray Carter II, he says, y'all Spence fans need to study film. Says Spence defense was deplorable. His right hand was too low the whole night. Easy left overhand. But I want you to understand this. EJ, he usually keep his hands high. He didn't do that last night. I don't know. He just didn't seem like himself. I mean, we've seen every Errol Spence Jr. fight. Did y'all think Errol Spence Jr. fought like himself last night?
No, man. He's been declining ever since. You look at what he looked like in the Kell Brook fight, and then look at Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. He's physically declining pretty much each fight. The Ugas fight was a little bit different. He looked a little bit better, but he hasn't been the same fighter since he fought Kell Brook.
Well, I mean, just his defense, because usually one thing you can count on from Errol Spence Jr., that's him keeping his hands up high. You know what I'm saying? And keeping a tight guard. I didn't see that last night. He did it in the Ugas fight, but he didn't do that in this fight. And, there's just a lot of questions about just not for Bud, but for EJ, what was going on with his skills and skill set. He just didn't seem like he was, Errol Spence Jr. really. It's like he was a fucking clone or something, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the inside information on it, but he didn't have his hands up high. EJ don't fight like that, bro. He don't fight like that. He don't fight with his hands low like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to say about that,
Yeah, he was off. He was completely off defensively.
I just think he thought he was better than Bud Crawford, and he thought he was on another level, and so he trained like that. He trained thinking he was just going to be able to do what he did in the gym. I think Blu-ray would have got him right. He would have made him dig deeper and got himself, got him strong as he could possibly be. And he didn't want to go through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You saw pulling in the 24/7. He was doing all them stretching exercises. And
yeah, I was like, what is that?
Like,
shit?
how you supposed to?
I was like, what is this flexibility coach, man? Fire that nigga.
And you know what I'm saying? Acupuncture and what's really wrong with you, bro? Like, is there something wrong that we don't know about that you getting in this fight and you getting acupuncture and you supposed to be a healthy young man?
Well, Andre Ward used to go through all that shit because he was fucked up behind the scene. He was banged up, you know what I'm saying? But he had those skills, though. Andre Ward had them skills, bro. He was all banged up, and he had to go to get all those coaches and get all the therapy and stuff and, get spots rubbed on and all kind of shit like that. But he made sure he was ready for that fight, though. I think EJ, his arrogance he just thought he was better than Bud, and he didn't realize Bud was on another level. And he should have trained like that. If he would have trained like that, this would have been, I don't know if he would have won, but I think it would have been a more competitive fight.
Correct.
Gave himself a chance, to be in the fight.
Give yourself a chance. You know what I mean? Don't go in there halfway and thinking that you're going to do something halfway. Give yourself a chance.
And we get to see he underprepared because he had no pop on his damn. He had no pop on that. He started lunging and shit. I said, bro, what the fuck is he lunging? Didn't I say that's the one thing he shouldn't do is lunge and duck down the way he was getting caught? And he underestimated Bud's speed. you know, the speed that and combination punching and stuff. So he just it's like he didn't even look at the film of who he was fighting. It's like he just went in there like he blind or something, like he didn't know who the fuck he was fighting. I was like, bro, you ain't no study.
He normally parry those punches. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. We ain't see none of that shit.
Nothing.
None of it. None of it. I was like, okay, what's going on here? So, you know, once you get out all of rah, 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 you know, say you got to look at the fight and say, what was going on with EJ? What, he was fucked up or what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What's going on?
It looked like he had a 15-month fat camp. Meaning,
I don't know about a fat camp, but I think he had enough time to train. I just think he just underestimated him. I think he felt like 50% of them could beat, or whatever he could pull out was good enough to beat Bud. He didn't respect Bud, and Bud made him pay. You know what I'm saying? He's a top guy. Bud is an ultimate athlete, and he knows his body. He's a gym rat, and you know, EJ underestimated that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He should have stayed in the gym, took a fight. I think he should have took that Keith Thurman fight. Fought Keith Thurman, would have kept him active, and I think he would have been better. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that. He stayed and waited for Bud Crawford, and he played the game, and he lost. You know what I'm saying? Bud has now made history. He's 2-time undisputed champion, bro. It is what it is. What's going on, C. Wood, in the building?
What up, Paul? How you doing, brother?
All right.
Yeah, just wanted to hop in quickly. One of the things that I recognize right away, sometimes when you are in that big moment, and it all comes together, it all comes to fruition, it all comes to a head, there's some psychological strain that happens to many fighters, and I'm not necessarily saying that that's what happened to Errol, but I think we underestimate how much of the mental game goes into preparing for these fights and being able to get up for these fights each and every time.
Yeah, that's real. I've said that before too. You know, these guys been fighting all their life, and Porter said something that was very profound. And I say this, I've been saying this a lot ever since he said it. He said, you said the fighter you are on Monday is not the fighter you are on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And just like C was saying, like, you got to make sure that you're feeling good on the day you fight. On the day you fight, everything got to be clicking. You might be clicking on Monday, but on Friday, you might not be clicking. So you got to find a way to get yourself to feel like you was on Monday. Y'all understand that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And see, so you got to work you are not the same fighter until you build yourself up to be that fighter. Like after when you get ready for a fight, you are not the champion until you go into the gym and you do your study, do everything you need to do, the sparring, and then you become Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? Before that, you're just Errol. You're not Errol Spence Jr. three belt unified champion. You got to work. You got to go in there. You got to work, and you got to prepare yourself. Like C was said, you got to get mentally strong. You got to build yourself up. And if you can't do that, you're not going to function the way you're supposed to as the champion. Those football players, they got to train their mentality to get up to operate at a high level. And I think when you're done with a weight division, you need to take your ass on up. Like Virgil, like right now, I'm telling you, Virgil Ortiz, he needs to take his ass on up. He needs to take his ass on up because he's passing out. He's passing out, trying to make weight, and he's going to look like Mikey Rivera in there. He's going to be sluggish. He ain't going to be able to perform.
Man, that's dangerous too, man. Going in there, you know.
Yep. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous, man. You know, the fluids in your brain that aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
You take a punch, you're susceptible to even dying.
Correct.
But they should know this.
Yeah,
but the money is so great. The money is $30 million a piece. I understand. You know, even if you're not at your best, you know what I'm saying, you want to go in there and get that money. Get that. That's a hell of a bag, bro. 30 million.
He did mention that though, Paul. He mentioned the fact that you get paid more at welterweight than the other weight classes.
So, right, because it's a glamour division. You know, nobody gives a shit about 154 because you can see how they treat Jamel Charlo.
And think about this. He had one fight in 30 months. The Ugas fight in 2022. Yeah. One fight in 30 months. The last fight was Ugas in 2022. The fight with Danny Garcia was in 2020 December. So you had one fight in 30 months going into the biggest fight of your career. And I know Al Hebden was telling him, look, man, you need to take a tune-up fight. I know somebody was telling him that, but like you said, he was just too arrogant. He didn't listen to nobody.
Right.
Yep.
And that was his downfall, man. He killed himself. Don't blame Bud. You know, Bud is just a champion, a badass motherfucker, man. I mean, he's gonna do what he got to do, but it's up for EJ to get his side together. You know what I'm saying? If you can't raise your level, you know what I'm saying, to the level of your rivals, then you don't deserve to be champion. You don't deserve to be champion. You get what you get, right? And last night, what we saw was a young man that's still learning his way. He didn't have the experience to be in that moment. You know what I'm saying? He had too many mental flaws, being arrogant, you know what I'm saying, to rise to the challenge. But Bud, being older and being wiser, he knew he had to prepare for this man. Everybody seen Errol Spence Jr. coming. They just couldn't raise their level to compete with him. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
They couldn't raise their level to compete with him because he had such natural ability. But Bud, being such an athlete and having the wisdom and the smarts, you know what I'm saying, to be able to prepare the way he did, he was able to outwit EJ. You know what I'm saying? Use his own arrogance against him.
And Paul, he didn't even know he was being outwitted.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, but everybody was telling his ass. You know, everybody was telling him, you know, don't stay down there too long, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. But he would have done it anyway, even if he was smart. Because if you got a chance to make $30 million, bro, I don't give a hell. I don't care if it was 135. If he told him, hey, I want this fight at 135, he would have done it. Because $30 million is a lot of money.
You know, could have made that at 154, 160. I mean, you can't let your whole career hang on one fight.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna get the fight. Bud wasn't gonna agree, you know what I'm saying, except for, so for 147, you know, so he wasn't gonna agree. But this fight would have happened either way, you know what I'm saying, because they wanted that money. That I'm gonna tell you something. You can't turn down $30 million, bro. You just can't do it. You never know if you're gonna ever make that again in your life, you know, and that's life-changing money. So I understand. You know, I can't fault him too much. He's looking out for his family. You know, say any man that could build himself up like that and cash out and make that kind of money, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he really didn't cash out because he's gonna take the rematch. So they're gonna make more money. Anybody, if brothers could build themselves up to make a fight like that, they should take it. You know, Ali took the second Frazier fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew they was going to make a lot of money. He didn't know if he could beat Frazier in that first fight because he'd been off for 3 years. He was off for 3 years and came back. He said, man, I got to make some money for my family. And Frazier went out there and broke his jaw. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But the man's legs were different at the age of 33. He was different. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the same Ali, but he knew he needed to make that money. So he went out there, talked shit about Frazier, called him a gorilla, you know what I'm saying? Built up the fight, and he broke his jaw in that fight. That's the first time we seen Ali go down like that. Well, no, not the first time. He did go down another time. You know what I'm saying? But that was like one of the first knockdowns.
Real danger and getting beat up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But after the fight, he wanted to know where his check was. He wasn't even mad at Frazier. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he came back and then Faluma him too. So
yeah, oh yeah,
that's why he's considered the greatest.
Right, but I'm just saying, you know, it's about the money for these guys, and you know they've been fighting so long, they don't give a damn about going in there and busting each other up. They really don't. It's the fans that take the sides. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just do what they do. You know what I'm saying? To them, it's another day at the office. To us, You know what I'm saying? It's about, it's about teams, It's about what side who you're rooting for. So, but they don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure, he's sad that he let his fans down on some level. But then when you think about his bank account, the motherfucker happy. He's like, man, my family ain't never got to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I could put my kids through private school, ain't got to go out here and fight these knuckleheads. You know what I'm saying? And I could do whatever I want with my family. I could live anywhere. I could buy what them bags called? Birkin bags for my old lady. And you know what I'm saying? I could do I'm on that level. I'm on that level for the rest of my life. And then if they get a rematch, shit, hell, I'm even making more money, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for both of them. You know what I'm saying? With this fight, they have achieved more than fighters who, fought their whole careers, never made $30 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about a piece. I heard Ryan Garcia made $30 million. You know what I'm saying? For fighting Tank. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's happy about that ass whipping he took. But shit, that kid is rich. You know what I'm saying? He's good for the rest of his life right now. So, I
want to see the rematch pull. But I won't get excited about it until I see what he's doing in his camp, who he got in his camp, and what he actually bring. What he gonna bring to the table new this time? Is he gonna still go with the acupuncture and the stretching weights, or are you gonna get Blu-ray in there and dog it out and come back like he's supposed to come back? I'm curious to see that.
This was a good lose for him.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say, y'all don't understand, man. This is boxing. Sometimes you got to get an ass whipping to get better. You know what I'm saying? You got to break that arrogance that you're better than somebody just because. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're Errol Spence Jr. No, bro. No, you got to go do the work. This man is better than you think. Now you know. Now what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it?
Spence measured Bud by his resume too, man. And he overestimated him.
He did. He was talking all that mess about he gonna break him and like Kunta Kinte, and that was some arrogant stuff he was talking, and he was looking really.
That's okay. That's okay. You're gonna build up the fight regardless. I'm glad he said that. I mean, I want the next one to be even worse. You know what I'm saying? That ain't shit. That was light. That's if you've been watching boxing, that's little itty bitty shit. You know what I'm saying? Tyson was talking about eating motherfuckers' kids. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about raping. Well, I can't say that on YouTube. He was talking about raping people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, have y'all been watching this sport? This is a brutal, savage sport. And they make big money, off of being brutal and savage. So, y'all, we just got to chalk it up. That's what boxing is. We love it. You know what I'm saying? Just because your favorite fighter didn't win, don't mean it wasn't a good fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? EJ went in there and he went out on his shield, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we want to see. If he would have took a knee or anything like that, or he would have quit, then it would have been, a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that. He went out there, went out on his shield, and it was great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a warrior. He did what he could do. You know what I'm saying? And he just wasn't ready. He wasn't on that level. Like Crawford said, there's levels. You got to do the work on the other side, bro. It's more than just fighting in the ring. It starts in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And he lost the gym war. You know what I'm saying? He lost, He lost it. So, I hope this second fight is better than the first. What's going on, DJ Black Charm Music in the building? What's going on, bro? You on Pool Counter Boxing. What's going on, my brother?
Oh man, I can't call it what you know good.
Oh man, you know how I do. Shit, get on here and chopping it up. What's up?
I see y'all chopping it. Listen, man, the man got whooped on. Ain't no victim Olympus or what. Mike Tyson told him to watch Marvin Hagler against Alan Mentor. That shit happened the same way Mike Tyson called that shit, man. I watched that fight.
I saw that fight when they were throwing bottles at
man, Marvin. I'm like, damn, Marvin Hagler was the shorter man. He came in bigger than Alan Mentor that night and beat the hell out of that. They fought him soft.
Mentor was dirty as hell. He was a dirty ass boxer though. That bastard was dirty as hell. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody's like, damn, Poole done seen every fucking fight in history. I done seen a lot of them. I done seen a lot of them going way back. I done seen a lot of fights, bro. I'm talking about. I seen that one.
What was surprising about Bud Crawford is last night he did two things. He did two things that I never saw him do. His trunks wasn't as high. His trunks weren't as high as they normally be, and he started fast. I said he was saving that fast start, because a lot of folks like Bud Crawford start slow, whatever. He had a faster start, and we could say Errol Spence made him start fast in the second round, but I think he was intended on coming. That's why he bulked up like that. He was intended on coming out bumming on Errol Spence from the rip, And then the other thing that I noticed though, like Errol Spence didn't use his length. He could have jabbed the shit out of Terrence Crawford the whole time without Terrence Crawford even coming up close on him. He trying to bang it out with the man, you know what I'm saying? And the man got shorter and crisp punches. That was also a mistake on Derrick James for not even calling it out. Like this man is, when you're on the inside, his punches are crisper than yours, bro. Don't do that. Stay on the outside. Keep him on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Wave him off. Even if you got to stick your thumb in his eye, keep him on the outside. But they ain't have no tactics. And then the other thing too, the last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be quiet on that other part of when you know how to fight. I know y'all done been in the gym before and you practicing whether y'all did karate or boxing and stuff like that. And then your trainer be trying to tell you to do one thing in sparring, but your opponent hit you a certain way and you forgot everything your trainer did and you start breaking out some of that shit you were doing in the backyard with your brothers doing. And your trainer telling you, oh man, don't do that shit. That ain't boxing. You like, man, well, that nigga caught the end of the fist and the bow right behind the hook. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about when you finish the cross with a bow behind that shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's when you learn how to fight. When you fighting against a nigga that fight like that, or a motherfucker, if you're doing kung fu and a nigga keep stepping on your feet so he can goddamn kick you hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to fight like that. I think EJ know how to fight, but I don't think he went to in this training camp. I don't think he had any opponent to get on his ass like Bud Crawford did. During training camp.
Here's the interesting thing, DJ. We said that if Crawford get hit, he'll get emotional and open himself up. But the opposite happened. EJ got hit and he opened himself up. You know what I'm saying? And that shocked me. EJ was the one who got hit, you know what I'm saying, got his jab taken away and got hit with good shots, and he got emotional and he went in there, you know what I'm saying, recklessly and got beat. You know what I'm saying? So that was just kind of interesting.
Yeah, and going against your trainer, Derrick James telling you to do one thing. He's telling you to circle one way. Don't stand in front of him. You know what I'm saying? You standing there flat foot, and then what I was saying earlier, and what knockout it? I told the man all Terrence Crawford got to do is stay lateral for about 5 or 6 rounds. If he do that, he'll beat. You know what I'm saying? Man, Terrence Crawford ain't been lateral since 140. Everybody was telling me that. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I thought it was going to be the same way too, but apparently he still could float like a butterfly up in there.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, apparently he maybe against Sean Porter, David Avenesian, Kell Brook, and all the other people at 147, he didn't have to be lateral on. But then you got to fight like Errol Spence Jr. You got to be lateral. You got to bob weave. You know what I'm saying? You got to step around. He did all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when he did his hand placements in the 4th and 5th round, had Errol Spence standing there staring at him. Mike Tyson told Errol Spence, man, you got to watch that shit.
I'm gonna tell you what Crawford did that really threw EJ out. When he did his duck, he put his hand over his head and punched. He put his hand on the back of his neck, you know what I'm saying, and held him down and hit him. You know what I'm saying? So he put the forearm. Anytime EJ ducked, he put that hand down on him and kept him in place, hit him. Boom. You know, so kind of like EJ did Porter. He was anytime EJ ducked, he put that forearm on him. I say, EJ, you got to catch on to that, bro. You got to catch on to that. You know, so EJ wasn't catching on to certain things. He should have known he can't duck like that no more because he got caught 2 or 3 times when he was ducking. And I was like, that's one of the major things I said in my video that he can't do because he got caught with Ugas doing that shit. You
So
know
let
what I'm
me
saying?
ask you for a counter. You think this fight taught EJ how to fight, or it took some fight up out of him?
Well, I think he didn't prepare. I think he underestimated Bud, how he could raise the level of his game, and I think he got more respect for Bud now. You know, I think it's his arrogance that really had him going in there, thinking he could just do. He didn't work on. He didn't try to get better on the things that he was good at. See, so once those things are taken away, you got to have your other tools ready. And if you don't get out there and get active and fight, you know what I'm saying? It's not taking a tune up, thinking Bud, you can just go in there cold, you know what I'm saying, without being active on Bud. You can't do it, bro. He looked better than you because he was more prepared. He had got him a tune in up. He was loose, his timing, he was sharper. Did EJ look sharp in that fight?
Yeah, no.
Did he look like did he look like he had his legs? Did he look like he had his legs? He was off balance. Hold on. He was off balance. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked down with a jab, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He got to the shoulder because he was off balance.
Yeah, you seen that Creed? You seen that movie Creed? Y'all watched the movie Creed?
Yeah.
The punches Terrence Crawford was showing them to do in the movie and stuff like that. And I was looking at that shit like, man, that shit ain't gonna work in no real boxing match. That shit worked in this boxing match against Errol Spence.
See some dudes you can get away with that. You know, you can't take a tune up or don't take a tune up. But you got to be active to be sharp. You gotta stay active to stay sharp. You can't just go in there thinking you kicked the best counter puncher ass in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's that arrogance I'm talking about. He went in there and fought Sean Porter without strength and conditioning, and look, almost lost that one. Went in there with Mikey Garcia with no strength and conditioning, couldn't knock him out. You got to prepare. His weakness is his ego and his getting prepared, thinking he the baddest man in the land. Just he thinking everything he needs. He think is internal, and it's not. Some things you got to work for. You got to study for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's his weakness.
I think the one thing we all missing is that EJ should have been moved up. He ain't looked the same since after the Kell Brook fight. When you saw his physique, he looked filled out. He looked strong. You look at what he's been doing since that Kell Brook fight, and he's been declining ever since physically. He needed to move up.
So let me ask you this,
Let me give you this example. Roy Jones was the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Went up the heavyweight, kicked ass up there. Then he came back down. Everybody thought he was going to be the same. He was 34, 35 years old. Thought he was going to be the same. Motherfucker was fucked up trying to come back down. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't half the dude he was. Ain't have no strength on his punches. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hurt Tarver, bro. So when you start fucking around with your weight in your 30s, if you don't prepare right, that's how you're going to look. You're going to be stripped of your abilities, bro. And you know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all. So y'all. Now, being last night, Terrence Crawford beat the hell out of Errol Spence. Do y'all think other boxers see food, or Errol Spence still ain't food?
At 147, he's food.
Yeah, that's just like Devin Haney at 135. He gonna get his ass beat. He gonna get his ass beat at 135 if he go back down and fucking with Stevenson or Tank. He can't fight at that weight like that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't talking about Terrence Crawford. I'm talking about Errol Spence. Is Errol Spence food?
That's what I'm saying.
At 147, he food.
Yeah, because he can't operate at that weight no more, bro. He's done with it. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all don't think he food at 54?
No,
we gotta see what he looked like.
He done took a psychological ass whipping now. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Once you've been undefeated and you get that first defeat, especially by knockout, they're never the same. They're never the same. Once they get knocked out and they were undefeated and they take their first loss, you're never the same, bro. Because you know it's something psychological about having that O. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's gonna have that over him going up to 154. He'll be able to beat people who ain't on his level. But if you're gonna face Terrence Crawford again, you know what I'm saying? It's once you break that O, it's something about it, man. Once Roy broke that O, he started getting knocked out all over the fucking place.
So y'all gonna give my boy a chance then? Y'all gonna give my boy a chance. He ain't lost but one time, man.
No, I give him a chance.
I'm talking about which weight class? I'm talking. Y'all know who my Judah Full County. You know who my boy is. Hey, listen, man. Had it not been for his shoulder and his elbow and his wrist, all them belts would be here, man. He don't take but one time. He don't take but one time. Y'all gonna give him a chance, man. Y'all gonna give my boy a chance, man.
Did y'all peep in the fight with Crawford hit EJ with his elbow? Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Did y'all see when
I'm talking about Thurman though, but yeah. I saw that.
What you said? He got finesse, man, out of that fight, 147. Give him a chance at 154 for real. I will give him a chance. But going back down to 147, I don't think that's a good idea.
I'm saying y'all to give Thurman a chance. Y'all to give Thurman a chance at any of them belts at 54, 47. Y'all don't give Thurman a shot now. Y'all still writing them off?
Hell no.
Not Thurman.
Man, Thurman done retired. He's semi-retired, bro. His hairline retired, bro. His
Thurman
hairline
checked out 2 years ago.
That nigga hairline. That motherfucker losing more. That motherfucker look like Woodstock.
Had he not lost to Manny Pacquiao, man, it would be a different story today, man.
Man, look at Keith Thurman. He looked like somebody got an RV. He looked like somebody who owned an RV, bro. You know what I'm saying? He be wearing vacation shirts in interviews.
Wait a minute, Paul. Ain't Keith Thurman been off what? 34 months, 36 months? How long he been out?
5 years? Shit.
Nah, he been out. He just had fought Manny Pacquiao
2019. That's 2019 he fought Manny.
I told
2021 in January. So it's been almost 2 years.
I told everybody, I said, after he fight Marius Barrios, and you was here, DJ Black Sean, I told him, I said, after he fight Marius Barrios, that motherfucker gone. He done made him a few million. He ain't coming back. I told y'all. Talking about he waiting for Errol Spence Jr. He ain't waiting for no.
Hey, I wanted to see that shit though. I wanted to see that because I'm a man. I've been a one-time fan. I've been a one-time fan since he called out since Floyd Mayweather told him, "Hey man, you fight Errol Spence, I think about fighting." What the fuck kind of answer is that, nigga?
And I'm gonna tell y'all another thing. Errol Spence Jr. mystique has been broken. His mystique.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
His mystique.
That's what I'm talking about. So,
just like when Tyson,
so no mystique. You think niggas gonna try that jab still? You think niggas gonna try Errol Spence jab, or is it still deadly?
Oh, it's still deadly. It's just that people have more confidence now that they could beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like when Mike Tyson got knocked down. See, before he had people psychologically psyched out. But when Buster Douglas went in there and beat his ass, it was a wrap. It was a wrap, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because by that time, Tyson wasn't working on his skills the way he used to. Like he wasn't doing he wasn't doing the bobbing and weaving and shit the way he used to. Get down low with it. Yeah, he was just slugging. So I think.
Hey man, so let me ask you, Paul, bringing that one up right there. You think when the 13 seconds, I counted 15. But that depends on I counted 15, but how they said it's the ref, how the ref, it ain't a 15 second or 10 second, it's a 10 count. You know what I'm saying? But you think that 10 count messed up Mike Tyson psyche, like he thought he had the nigga out, then they let him up and he was out of the game, like he had done threw all he could throw.
Well, I think Tyson, he's a confident type fighter. You know, as long as the fight going his way, he'll beat your ass. Yeah. But once the fight goes against him, he start losing confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when Buster got up. Yeah.
I think
I was like, I was wondering, I was like, how did that shit, the momentum switch that fast? Like, you just knocked the nigga out, you can't land now another punch on him? What the fuck going on with you, Mike Tyson?
Mike was playing around over there, man. He was in bad shape going to that fight.
Remember that fight?
Mike Tyson, he wasn't training, to go 12. He was training to knock people out. He was another one that brought him, brought him to his own arrogance. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he could just get people up out of there. No, so you got to prepare for it all. You might have to go 12. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go in and lunge and, think you're going to knock out everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people got good chins. Some people got good technique. You know what I'm saying? He just thought I think after a while, I think these guys they get tired of training camps and they can't train as hard. You know, they can't get up for these fights like Seawood was saying. You know, they can't get up for these fights, man. It's like it's a grind, bro. It is a true grind, and they were fighting more often back then too. It's a grind.
I think you can't play boxing, man. You can't play with it. You
So
gotta be serious.
So y'all think Bud Crawford should get more opponents? Because he 4 years. He from his.
He got to fight Boots for that title. The
but,
IBF title.
But why though? But why though? When he said he was gonna retire at 32. The pandemic happened. Now the pandemic happened, and he wasn't able to make no grand finale because the pandemic happened. Now I'm gonna give him that he didn't retire because of the pandemic. So now he's 36.
Crawford
got to either fight Spence or Boots. One of them two, we're gonna have to fight him. So
Andre Ward left on top after he beat Kovalov.
You're right. He might just retire because this is the ultimate mind play he just pulled. So he might just retire on top.
Right, and he in the history books he stand alone as the first male to be undisputed in 2 weight classes, next to Clarissa Shields. You know what I'm saying? And the 4-belt era, and even if you add a 3-belt era, Terrence Crawford stand alone as the first male to hold belts in 2 weight divisions, be undisputed in 2 weight divisions. So he solidified in history like to the T now. He ain't got to go to no Hall of Fame. He already got his hands casted a long time ago. A couple of years ago, he got his hand casted, so he ain't got to get it casted again. I would though. I thought it'd be Errol Spence. They the pound for pound knuckle. Them other knuckle with Jerry regular. They the real knuckle, right?
So there's a reason why Crawford was favored in this fight. The Las Vegas bookies knew what was going on, what was up. So,
well, we'll never know what's truly behind the scenes. You know, we don't know. Maybe Mayweather came in and gave him some pointers. We don't know. But he was on whatever it was. He was on point, man. All that matters.
Did you watch the telecast? The first, I think it was the second round coming out. The lady was talking about Mayweather said that Mayweather was draining. Spence drained himself. Did anybody watch the broadcast when the lady said that in the second round? And Mayweather they panned the camera over to Mayweather and he was smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, when they said that he was weight drained and he had drained himself down, he is always draining himself down to make weight. Floyd told her that. Like, why would they introduce that in the broadcast in the middle of the fight?
Well,
that was weird.
Well, whatever, you know what I'm saying, it is just like on fight night, you got to make sure you're right, bro, on fight night, because this is what happens, you know what I'm saying? On fight night, you got to make sure you're okay, you're straight. But see, what I want my people to, you know, say my Errol Spence Jr. fans out there, you know, when you have your favorite fighter lose, bro, it's how they react after that loss. So we got to watch EJ and see how he bounce back from this. You know what I'm saying? Is how he reacts? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to act like a champion or he going to act like a chump? You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no sympathy for motherfuckers that go out there, lose, and don't come back stronger. He have no excuses. Now he see what he's facing. He see everything that man got. He need to prepare himself. You know what I'm saying? In this next fight, I think it's in December out here. They're talking about December at 154.
I think he needs to sit down, man.
But it's up to Bud. He said I want to rematch at 54 if he want to. You know what I'm saying? That's what Errol Spence said at the end. So it's still up to Bud. I mean, it was up to Spence to say it was up to the loser to say they want a rematch. He said he want a rematch, but it's still up to Bud to agree. But Bud, and right there at that juncture right there, y'all. Hey man, he ain't got to fight. He can go ahead and take the high road and say, you know what, I'm gonna hang it up, because he ain't got to go through a humiliation of letting Errol Spence get some get back, knocking him out, or even go through the humiliation of let Jerron Enos watch that fight and figure everything out, because Terrence Crawford pulled some shit out of his bag he ain't pulled out, and Jerron Enos, not Jerron Enos, but Bozy Enos is a master trainer. He's seen everything that on both sides to whoop both of them now, you know. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a smart guy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't, like you said, bro. I don't think Terrence Crawford gonna actually do the rematch, man. I think he might just retire, or if he do the rematch, he might just drag it out like he did the last fight.
You watched the fight last night.
You know, play
But
the
I'm gonna
mind
tell you
game.
something. I'm gonna tell you something. It's something behind. There's something behind why he took so long, and he was preparing himself the whole time to fight Errol Spence Jr. Why he walked out of negotiation to get a tune-up fight.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot that was going on into that. Because it was totally weird how the negotiations kept getting held up. And, you know what I'm saying, everything that just went down with that. And EJ just sitting back, waiting on this guy when he should have been fighting.
That's that arrogance, fool.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
I'm gonna sit out 15 months and then go fight Bud Crawford.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's EJ's fault. Now, I'm not saying that's Bud's fault. I'm saying that's EJ's fault. That's the arrogance I'm talking about. He underestimated Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford was doing everything he was supposed to do.
And you know what, Paul? Bud took him very seriously.
Yeah, he took him. Bud knew
man. Look at Bud's body in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Bud was not playing. Look at his legs. Look at the size of his legs compared to Errol Spence's legs, man. This dude was like. If you would told me he was a 154-pounder that night, I would not have been shocked. Like he probably was like 160 in that ring, and Errol was probably like 155, 154.
Another thing is, why didn't EJ blow up? Why didn't he rehydrate up?
You remember that fight with Pacquiao and De La Hoya when De La Hoya hadn't fought at 147 in a number of years, and he tried to get down there and fight him? Did y'all remember that Pacquiao De La Hoya fight?
Yeah,
how weight trained De La Hoya was?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
He
what
beat the
EJ
shit out
reminded me
of
of. Like you've been draining for so long that your body just don't rehydrate properly, and that's what happened to him. It looked like.
But you know, he dropped way too much weight to fight Pacquiao, but he gave up too much. He was too old for that shit, man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Oscar was gonna deal with Manny Pacquiao, but that motherfucker was weak as hell in that fight, bro. He was weak as hell.
It's easier to go up in weight than to drain yourself in weight, and you've been inactive.
Right.
Sugar Ray Leonard didn't come back from a 3-year layoff to drain himself and fight at 147. He came back to fight at 160, which is a higher weight class. So there's levels to this game, man, and I guess you got to learn a lesson.
They should know all this shit. They should know as active fighters, but I think the money was just too tempting. You know what I'm saying? It was just too much money to be made, and he did not want to pass up that opportunity. He thought he was that much better than Bud. But see, you gotta work for it. You know, you gotta work for it. You know, you might be able to beat somebody, but you gotta build yourself up to it. You know, so you can't come in there underprepared. Or somebody going, you'll get your ass whipped, and he got his ass whipped. What's going on, T-Word? He says, the losers can trigger the rematch. He said the winner picks the weight. Okay. Let's see.
Hey, Paul, you mind if I jump in for a second?
Go ahead, bro.
Man, so I want to give y'all my take on this whole thing. So I'm diehard Errol Spence. I mean, I'm man down every day, all day, and ain't no excuses. He just got flat out. He got schooled, but I'm pissed because he sat there and pursued this fight. Let this dude pull out all the stops. Gave this nigga everything in negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gave him everything.
Everything.
And I'm pissed because I felt like the pendulum swung the minute dude walked away from the fight, fought amnesia.
Correct.
At that point, I thought I felt like if it was about the money, EJ should have won a fight. EJ could have bum bashed for 2 fights. He could have fought Thurman, and somebody else made the same money in 2 fights that he made in this fight. That's how I feel. When they showed him walking into the when they showed him walking into the stadium, I said he don't look right, man. I told my son and my wife, I said, something ain't right. This shit ain't right at all. I lost a shitload of money last night. A shitload.
Hey, I pulled out of my bets when I saw the weigh-in.
Shit, I got to stand 10 toes down. I can't pull out no bets, man. I've been repping this shit for too long. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the money. It's about fucking with a motherfucker who you know is about the shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but he didn't look right in a way. I was going to put a place a bet, but I looked at the way and I was like, damn, one dude look.
Hey, but like Slim Charles say, if it's a lie, we fight on that lie. That's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I don't want to see a rematch. I want to see my man. He got that bag. He done been through a lot of shit. He done been through these car crashes. He done gave us what, as fans, he done gave us what we needed. I still fuck with him. And one thing about it, one thing I've been saying since day one, you can't fault these fighters for taking an L. If a motherfucker fighting the best, this man been saying no tune-ups for years. You can't fault a motherfucker for fighting the best and taking an L. But what I want to see that man ride off into the sunset, do his thing. I want to see Derrick James finish up with Charlo, do whatever he gonna do with AJ and Ryan Garcia. I want to see them ride off into the sunset and leave on top, man. Because one thing about Crawford, he won his fight. He was a better fighter. But he all about gimmicks and shit, man, and I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? We've been watching this man live from day one, pulling all these moves. I don't fuck with that, man.
Yeah, I don't like
that. Even though he won the fight, this motherfucker that took tune-ups and worked on shit, and this man been injured and everything and set off 16, 17 months waiting on his ass, and this is what we got. I'm pissed, man.
Well,
at the same time, but this is what I wanted to say. At the same time, all the fan bases, everybody who listening, whether you're Crawford or Spence, it's time for us to come together because they pushing this motherfucking Anui shit. They pushing this bullshit. No, real shit, man. We got to unite as fans and get back on one accord. This shit divided a lot of fans, man, and we got to get back on one accord. Bud finna retire, man, and I don't want to hear no shit about Bud fighting Boots. Boots is 9 years younger, man. Nah. Boots the next generation. Whatever Bud decided to do, he proved what he had to prove. Let that man, if he want to bum bash and ride off, let him ride off. But we as fans, we need to get behind our fighters, man, and stand united because this shit has split us. And we looked at that. You look at that arena last night. That's our money. We you know what I'm saying? We running this industry between y'all putting this content out on YouTube and us spending this bread and y'all pumping these fighters. We run this shit, man, and they got to realize that. And we got to keep our fighters on top. That's really all I had to say, man.
That's a good one. I hear you, bro.
Listen to y'all, man.
I hear you, man. I don't have anything against Terrence Crawford. It's just that he's not my cup of tea. Like, I see how he moves, and I'm like, okay, well, I know he's a good fighter, but I can't really rate him up there with no Sugar Ray Leonard and no Marvin Hagler when he ain't fought nobody at that level. Errol Spence he
cleaned out. EJ did the hard work, cleaned out 147, and he came behind and beat the man who beat everybody else. You got to crown the man and let him ride off.
Well, playing
shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? He played that game. He held out. He let this man sit for 16 motherfucking months while he took tune-ups. And to me, personally, I don't make excuses, but the nigga was juiced to the gills. I'm sorry. Too much muscle. Too much. I'm serious. Look,
he looked very good. I'll tell you that. He looked
I didn't want to say it, but you know, I suspect.
Y'all just hear me out for 1 second. Y'all just hear me out for 1 second, right? I'm 100% convinced the dude missed weight totally. As big as he came in, and EJ said, fuck that, let's still fight to get that bag. I'm 100% convinced. How the hell this man dropped 1.2 pounds in 2 hours? That ain't possible. And still come back in rehydrated like that. That's not possible. So
we can see the size difference between them in the ring.
I looked on the internet. By Friday, they had sold 700,000 pay-per-view, pre-ordered 700,000 pay-per-views already. They went for the mess of that bag up.
Well, they didn't say shit when Manny Pacquiao went through.
They had a plan. He was juiced. Him and Victor Conte, they juiced up. He came in overweight, and he did his thing. They cheated. PBC let that bullshit work. PBC served Steph Fulton up. They all about the money. You know,
let's call it spade a spade, bro.
EJ is the one that wanted that fight like that. He the one that Al Heyman advised him to go up to 154.
Yeah, but
I just said no. I don't want to go up to 154.
Hey,
I'm not passing up 40-50 million.
Hey, we gonna give Crawford his credit. We can got no proof for the juicing, but I do.
Wait, I know. I just had to speak my.
I know. We all suspect that shit, but we ain't got no proof, so we can't go out like that.
I know. Hey, what I'm
saying, I do suspect. I had to
speak my piece, man, because I'm a lot of money. I'm over here.
I was about to come on here and say, hey, you know, I was gonna put the question up there. Did Crawford juice? You know what I'm saying? I was about to say that, but I said, nah. I said, we're going to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if that man, but I do suspect in that year he got prepared. Just like Canelo. Just like Canelo. Don't Canelo postpone fights and go fight lower competition and then come back stronger somehow?
You know how he
don't
roll?
do that shit.
Look, we all from the streets, right? If one product gets shut down, you move to another. We know what Victor Conte on, man. If one ain't pushing, you move to the next. That's how it rolls. He found a way to juke the system.
But besides all that, you know what I'm saying, the skill of Terrence Crawford was just phenomenal, bro.
It was.
The skill, I mean, the defense, I've never seen his defense that good, bro. I mean, just overall, his skill was just on another level. Of course, he had the extra power that he brought to the table. I've never seen him that strong. Every jab, every punch hurt EJ. And I was just like, I was just befuddled, bro. I was like, his jab hurting him like that? Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Like this, Paul. Is Bud that good or is EJ that bad?
I don't think it's neither, man. I think it's circumstances. But I just want EJ to spend time with his kids and ride out because I fuck with him heavy. I don't want to see him get back in the ring, man. He done been through enough. He got that bag. Whatever Crawford decide to do, he gonna do it. We on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, EJ
time for everybody to get behind Boots and let Boots take shit over and tank.
If
you know
EJ,
what I mean?
if EJ want to fight, I want him to see if he, you know, every fighter want to go. You know, when they go out, they don't want to leave no questions like Riddick Bowe. Every time,
I know, man.
Every time Riddick Bowe see Lennox Lewis, he angry at himself. He act like he want to fight Lennox Lewis. He want to jump on him every time you see him in the public. But you mad at yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you mad at yourself because he beat you in the Olympics and you thought he was the superior fighter. So you didn't want to go through what you went through in the Olympics. So I don't want to see EJ have those questions. You know what I'm saying?
Man, EJ finna get $50 million check. It ain't look, once that money hit that bank account, he don't give no fuck. And I'm happy for the man. Because I fuck with him heavy. I wanted to see him get that bag because he earned it. He, as fans, he gave us what we wanted, man. And that's all we can ask for from our fighters. Win or lose. That's all we can ask for, man. But I don't want to see him take no more punishment. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we know after a loss, the fighters ain't the same. We know that. And I don't want to see him at 154 because them dudes hit harder.
Yeah.
They bigger. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that, man. I don't.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, bro. I'm right there along with you. But if there's a chance, but think about it. What if EJ could come back and beat Crawford, bro? Correct. What if he come back and beat him? You know what I'm saying? You get that. See, this is the shit. I'm from that era where Diogo Corrales and Castillo fought. Do you remember that fight?
There you go.
You remember that fight?
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were about to drop. They were about to throw in the towel on Corrales, but Corrales came back and rallied in the last like 10 seconds, bro, and knocked out Castillo. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I just don't think nobody. This man has been thrown from a you know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather see him go out with all his faculties and enjoy his family and enjoy his bread, man. Because he put in that work.
I feel you, bro. On that one, if there's something wrong with him from that accident that he's not telling anybody about,
bro, it might not be nothing wrong. It might not be anything wrong with him, but hell, he got through from a car, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, even football players be fucked up.
I think it is something wrong, man, because he was doing that cuffing, that acupuncture, and all that stuff.
All that acupuncture stuff.
I don't think there's nothing wrong, man. I just think Crawford was more prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
You know, hey, it is what it is. I don't make no excuses, but I just want to see the man go out on top. To me, one loss, that don't mean shit. You think
EJ should get some juice too?
Nah, man. I think EJ ought to buy that mansion or chill on that ranch and enjoy his bread, man. He got enough money for his great grandchildren to live off of, man.
That's what I said. That's what I said earlier.
For real talk, I think Bud just really, really, really took him serious and was just locked in on camp. Like they worked on everything. Like they studied him up and down. He even had 3 coaches, man. So they was dissecting Errol Spence from.
And he had a fight in between. You know what I'm saying? And EJ been off for damn near a year and a half. Yeah. He was off a year and a half. That makes a difference.
And
you can spar all you want to, but once you get in that ring, man, that's a different story.
And Derrick James was making fun of Bomac, talking about he got help. You need help, my nigga. You can't train everybody yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need the motivation of somebody to work on defense, somebody to work on offense. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can work on offense, but
I'm gonna hop off, man. I just had to say my piece, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Will Spill. Appreciate you sliding through, bro. Appreciate you sliding through, man. That's crazy.
Hey, Paul, that is actually a good idea you just said, man. Like, have somebody for defense, offense. You know, have coaches that break you down to a molecule and build you up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So this is so many different ways that he could have prepared. But when you take the final test and you fail, it just seemed like, it's like you look back and you like, damn, man, I wish I would have done something different. But it's just bad, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think he underestimated this man.
Yeah, so do I.
And, he underestimated, he paid the price. You don't underestimate nobody in boxing. And I thought that was the number one thing for a pro. You don't underestimate nobody. I don't give a fuck how bad they are in the ring. And I think his ego just got the best of him. And he just thought he could just walk through Crawford, and you can't. So, now, but he's paid. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happened with Errol Spence Jr., see if he'll sign for the rematch, see what Bud gonna do. Right now, it's too soon after the fight to even think about a rematch. They got to heal up and reevaluate himself, and maybe he'll look at what he did in the ring. Derrick James will take a look and see what they can work on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he go in the gym and look like, look better and look like he's, work on some shit and come back in December and try it again. I don't know if he could do this shit in these few months though.
Maybe he can get his hunger back, man. Because all that I want to be undisputed stuff completely derailed his career.
Well, I don't think it's. I mean, you got to be able to do it at the weight that you can do it at. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just think 147. He couldn't do it at there no more. He couldn't perform to the high level that we're used to seeing him perform. You know what I'm saying? At 147, I think his body is just done with 147. This is what it is. He shouldn't have signed that contract for 147. He should have tried to pull bull. But he wanted undisputed, so
that was the bait.
Yeah.
Little trinket. He was waving it in the water, and he got hooked on that WBO title. Wanted to be the undisputed champion at 147, even though he ain't 100%.
Yeah,
sometimes it's hard to make the weight.
Sometimes sometimes you just meet a guy who highly skilled. Saying we've seen Andre Ward get dropped. I thought he lost that fight with
I thought he lost
Crusher.
the first fight.
I thought he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers lose, motherfuckers win. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. And I've been watching it for over 40 years. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. A lot of these guys, they're not used to this kind of rivalry. You know what I'm saying? But I've been in this shit over and over with the rivalries and shit, bro. And the shit hurts. It sucks when your guy lose, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta take it and you gotta move on. That's just what it is. Boxing gonna continue on. KP says Errol has more consistent. He admitted to not doing strength and conditioning against Mikey, like Bud said, stays in shape year round. Yeah, he's just not as disciplined.
He was arrogant. He's putting that out there.
It's the struggle to make the weight is how you gonna do strength and conditioning? You can't even eat properly. So that whole idea of wanting to be undisputed is something that completely derailed his mentality of I need to be the best at what I can be in the ring at 100% at all times. If I need to be undisputed, let me move up and be undisputed at 160 or 160 or 154 or 160. Right. Let me move up and be undisputed when I'm at 100%. Don't drain yourself to try and get an accolade when you know that you're not, you're going up against a fighter like Terrence Crawford. He got lucky against Sean Porter. So you got to be
because you know what, too, bro. I mean to
health.
cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, bro. You good.
No, I say, you're right, man. He could have fought him at 154 because the casual fans, like a lot of people that was watching this fight, they didn't care about the belts. They just
Correct.
heard about two undefeated fighters fighting. It was like, oh, and they heard through word and news that this is one of the legendary fights, and they was like, all right, so he could have did it at 154 and still got the same results.
The same result, but you would have been healthier and stronger. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep, that's the problem, man. You got to pick your poison. You got to pick your poison, and I just think he should have thought about it. But I think that bag was just too tempting to make that money. Now they both made the money, but now you got to live with the results.
Mm-hmm. And you know what hurt the most? It's not the fact that he lost; it's how he lost. If Spence lost by unanimous decision, it wouldn't be as. But it was tragic, man.
It was tragic. It wasn't a very competitive fight.
Yeah,
it wasn't competitive at all.
Yeah, and you was looking at stuff that Spencer's used to getting hit with, and he just wobbling everywhere. And it's like, man, it's Buzz, but Buzz Power is really like that. Or I was like, what is it, man? Because he got jabbed, and I saw the look on his face like
his power was like that. I mean, it was like something that we never seen before.
Yeah, look at his face. Look at his face, puffy and bloody, and
I mean,
puffed up and bleeding like that in any fight.
To me, I look at all the fights. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them. I've seen all the Errol fights. I've seen all the blood fights. When a motherfucker pop up, when somebody's, you can have a great performance, right? But when you beat a motherfucker, let's say your power is more than what it was at 35, you don't gain power when you the older you get. This is something Floyd Mayweather was saying about Manny Pacquiao. You don't get quicker as you get older. You don't get stronger as you don't get faster. Your feet don't get faster as you get older. You know what I'm saying? I look at all that shit. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you get slower. As you get older, where you keep the same power that you had, that you always possess.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to look at that. Look at the whole thing in entirety. EJ, he wasn't fully prepared for what Crawford had to bring in case Crawford was going to be on his A game. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't prepared for none of it. So, he looked inferior. He was the inferior physically, the physical guy in the ring. So when you rely on your physicality in the ring, and you're not the stronger guy. I mean, when have we ever seen EJ accept a clinch, bro? When have we ever seen that? When have we ever seen EJ not have his guard high? You know what I'm saying?
It looked weird, man. There was some weird stuff going on there. Like he didn't know how to fight anymore.
Right. He just went in there like he was fucked up or something. I don't know.
Hey, Paul, you know what? It's a guy in the chat named B Guy. He mentioned something. He said Errol aired out them sanctioning bodies.
He what now?
When you talked about the sanctioning bodies?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, somebody in the comments was just saying that. Mm-hmm. That could be like some type of conspiracy.
No, the issue, he never rehydrated properly, man.
Not at all.
And he was dry. This is what I want people to see. His legs wasn't there, bro.
Correct.
Like I brought a little short video about Tommy Hearns when he fought Hagler. Hagler hadn't busted him up. He was beating the shit out of Hagler. Then his legs were gone. His legs were gone, bro. I was like, what the hell is? Why his legs weak?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, go back and watch that Hagler Hearns fight. And he said in an interview that his legs. He said I think he overtrained because he said his legs were tired. He said he knew it before the fight. And when he went out there in 2 rounds, his legs were gone, bro. He said he was done and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if you go look at that fight, EJ legs wasn't there, bro.
Wilder versus Fury in the 3rd fight. Wilder was gone by the 2nd round, gassed out by the second round. Wilder was gone in that fight.
No, I don't know why that is. I don't know why EJ legs. What? Because he got pushed over with a fucking jab.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely wasn't himself. He wasn't moving the way he moved. He wasn't pursuing the way he pursues. And he was different. Bud was great, but EJ wasn't himself. And you can see that in the fight. I'm just saying, strictly from observing from the outside looking in, he wasn't fighting like he wasn't, himself.
Nope. Even in best stage, man, he looked dry to me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? By how when a fighter back there and they're getting warmed up, and like you can just tell they hydrated. He just seemed like dry. Like I don't know. It was just something off.
Yeah, he looked physically. He looked physically weak at the weigh-in, and he looked physically weak in the ring. So I don't know what he can do better other than to move up to the weight.
It's his responsibility, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Bud ain't for the different time to rehydrate and be 100%. It's his responsibility to come to the ring.
Responsibility. Yeah, you're right, because he should have took control of his career and said, "No, I'm not gonna fight this guy at 50% or 60%."
So, but you know what? He thought he could beat Crawford at 60%. That's how arrogant he was about it.
Well, I think at one point it probably didn't matter. And, once the result of the training came out to be what it was, you still got to go through with the fight. If you're not feeling good that night, on fight night, you got to go through with it, bro. No matter how you feel, no matter how you prepare, you got to go into the ring and you got to get it done at that point. I'm pretty sure that happened to thousands of fighters where they train and on fight night they just wasn't right.
Yeah, his body didn't look right, man. It didn't look right from the time from the Ugas fight up until now. He looked like a totally different fighter. Even in the Ugas fight, his physique wasn't, it wasn't the best, but he looked like he was ready to go. This fight, he looked like he looked weak.
Yeah.
He looked like he didn't look emaciated, but he looked like he was just too small. I
was thinking he's supposed to be rehydrated like 165. But he looked like
you saw how he looked in the Ugas fight. He looked full.
Yeah.
He looked strong and shit. He looked like what Bud was looking like last night.
Correct.
He looked small last night.
He looked tiny. Now I don't know what that's all about, but it's clearly more to this story that we'll probably never know. It's clearly more to the story than we'll never know. And they'll probably come out with it later. They'll probably come out down the line. Just like Hearns talking about his legs going that night. Didn't find that shit out till a few days ago. I read an article where he says he was his legs were tired. And I went back and watched the fight. I was like, his legs are gone. And no wonder why Hagler was able to catch up to him. Because how did he catch up to Hearns? You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, he couldn't move. He couldn't duck. His legs were wobbly. I was like, what the hell is going on? And, at the time, I just wanted him to get his ass whooped because I like Marvin Hagler. But I didn't give a fuck. I was like, knock that nigga out. But you go back and watch it, I said, damn, Hagler hadn't beat him like that and his legs were gone. So, EJ, we'll see what he do.
We'll see what he do.
We'll see what he do.
This was, man. Yeah, man. It's like a picture in my head, man. Do you know what moment is in my head? That round 7 knockdown is in my head, man.
Yeah, that's when you kind of figure, oh, this is over.
Yeah, I was like, nah, man. Because, the part that got me real pissed, man, is the first round. The first thing I was like, okay, let me see if he's lunging. Because they should have worked on that. He was lunging. I was like, bro, they didn't work on this?
In
my head, I'm like, Crawford gonna catch that.
Yeah, he looked very amateurish in that fight. He didn't have no composure, mental composure. Like even in the Mikey Garcia fight, he made Mikey Garcia, chase him around. He did some little defense here and there, but in this fight, he had absolutely no composure. He wasn't trying to match wits with Crawford. He was trying to bully him, even though you can see Crawford was the bigger guy. Stronger guy.
Well, that's because Crawford took his jab. That's why he started trying to press him, because he took his jab because he was beating him to the jab, and it just was shocking. It just took EJ out of his game. Crawford was beating him to the punch and timing him. Crawford timing, bro.
Oh yeah, it's impeccable, man. It's like, oh my, it's like, the part that I like is when he hit Errol and Errol was trying to retreat, he was still hitting him.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like he put it. It's kind of like he was moving in slow motion. It's kind of like he froze time.
Well,
he hit.
You remember Michael Rivera, right? You remember how he looked before he fought Frank Martin?
Yep.
Then you see how he fought Frank Martin. How he looked. He looked like he was moving in slow motion. I thought that was going to be one of the best lightweight fights we've seen in a while.
And it came out to be,
And he was sluggish. He could barely get off. You know what I'm saying? So these guys got to pay attention to, moving up and down in weight. You got to pay attention to what your body can
weight
do.
Training yourself. Fight at your best weight. Give yourself an opportunity to be the best you can at the.
Well, whatever it is, weight drain, whatever, you got to be 100% when you fight somebody who's just as good as you.
Right.
And if they 100% and you ain't, you finna get your ass whipped. And that's what Crawford did.
Yeah, and you know what else, Poole? I knew something was off in there because his body shots it didn't sound like his original high.
It looked like little taps.
It looked like little taps. That's what it looked like, little taps.
It looked like little taps. It didn't have no torque going on. You used to seeing Spence go in there and go to work, step into a motherfucker. He didn't even. It looked like he was like meek. It looked like he was just weak and meek in there. So I knew something. It wasn't the same Errol Spence Jr. Something was definitely different. I don't know what it is, but we still gonna congratulate Bud Crawford for a good fight. We saw the best fight the best. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
And we got a undisputed champion. Now we got see what
history made too.
Right.
Yep.
Definitely. But we're gonna leave it right here, y'all. I'll come back tomorrow 'cause I'll be off tomorrow, and we'll start early, and we'll get into some more questions. Maybe I'll download some of the footage. I don't know if I can watch that shit again.
I'm not watching that again.
Man, I go back and watch it, man. I watched it one time, man.
You come back on tomorrow, LV. I'm kind of tired right now, but you can come back tomorrow. I'll let you up. I know you want to talk pop your shit. We'll be back tomorrow. Right now I just came in from a long drive, so.
All right,
I wanted everybody to know that I ain't Poole Counter Boxing ain't scared, niggas. I ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be right here. What's going on, Jay Smith? I see you out there, Mr. AMG. I see you out there. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try to start early so we can be on for a long time, and then we can get all the little trolls come in and pop their little shit. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace out.